Menard, I will hold you to an answer in this. Which do you think is worse? A president granting a general pardon to someone who was accused of shoplifting, or a president granting a specific pardon to someone who's accused of murdering 500 people in an anthrax attack? Which one of those is worse? Do you concede that Trump did call people in the Electoral College to try to get them to not... Wait, no, Menard, I need you to concede on this. Do you agree or disagree that Trump and his team called people to try to get states to not certify their electoral vote?
Because they had an investigation going, and who said that? Jack Smith?
No, John Eastman, the guy who came up. Do you know who John Eastman is?
No, you know.
So just to be clear, you let Trump off the hook for that. Do you also let Trump off the hook for all the people that he pardoned for the Mueller report?
These situations are not equivalent with one another, Nonfon.
Then why I don't care that Hunter Biden was pardoned? Like, is it an act of corruption? Sure, but these people don't care about acts of corruption. Why the fuck would I ever apologize for Hunter Biden being pardoned when you want to apologize for January 6th, when you want to apologize for the documents case? You think both of those things were completely made up. You want to apologize for any of Trump's rhetoric about the 2020 election, all of the lies about that. You want to apologize or take accountability for anything. So why the fuck would I care if Biden pardons his son? Really, dude? Really, dude? Pardoning his son after Republicans investigated him for years? I don't give a fuck at all. Okay. If you want to see more content like this, I would really appreciate you liking and subscribing. It really helps with the algorithm. And make sure to check out the Discord and other social links in the description.
So yeah, man. Free Hunter. God bless Hunter. Thank God for Joe Biden. Isaac, how are you feeling? Did you guys celebrate with cake? If you guys want, my sister just got married. I'll get you guys some cake.
I saw a picture of you at the wedding. You were looking real dapper, I will say.
Bro, did I pull off the black with the brown?
Oh god, you had the button up. I saw it. Okay, I saw you.
Bro, I did that on purpose, bro. I wanted to leave us, an impression. Alright, anyways.
But I have like mixed feelings about it. Yeah. But I think me and Nonfon mostly agree. It's pretty it's a little bit of bad, but comparable to Trump, it's like nothing.
Yeah, but so the signal I'm hearing from you guys is, are you guys like very angry that you're gonna call out the politicians, or?
I mean, I'll say Joe Biden's like.
Our opinion?
Yeah, Joe Biden's stupid. Joe Biden's stupid for doing it, but the reason I don't care is because Trump abused his pardon power way more, and also considering the fact that Jack Smith can't continue his prosecution against Trump, I don't fucking care if we can't continue, or if Republicans can continue the prosecution against Biden. Like,
do you still have the pardon?
Nice one, bro.
Read it out loud again, or like that first part again? That was.
I'm aware it's a general pardon, but this is an insane standard that you've concocted because it's the only possible way that you can defend this.
It's just because I've never seen anything like it before in my life. I'm just trying to understand if this is actually... I actually try to look it up if it's constitutional. It is constitutional. It's almost unlimited
constitutional,
power. Yeah, the president almost has unlimited power of pardon as long as it's a federal level and it's non-impeachment wise, which Hunter will never get impeached unless he runs for 2028. But yeah, so he has the power to pardon him. I'm just like, holy shit. I'm trying to understand if this happened before.
I mean, I'm sure there have been cases of general pardons in the past. I mean, I don't know for sure. I'm sure we could try to look them up and find them, but it's not particularly relevant. Menard, I will hold you to an answer in this. Which do you think is worse? A president granting a general pardon to someone who was accused of shoplifting, or a president granting a specific pardon to someone who's accused of murdering 500 people in an anthrax attack? Which one of those is worse?
Do I have to pull the switch on the trolley? Can I let it go?
I just like, this is a very, very simple question. Is it worse
to let it go and not make a decision, man? It's not
is it worse?
This is a pretty easy decision.
This is so obvious. It so obviously exposes that you.
Anthrax. Okay, listen. I mean, obviously, why would you if he's 100%, like it wasn't a shaky case? Yeah, 100. Yeah, that's crazy. But like,
so clearly, whether it's a general pardon or like specific pardon, I don't think that's the key decider on whether something is like corrupt or like morally wrong or whatever.
When the actual general pardon coincides with the period that the potential criminality was happening and we were going to go after.
It's what'd you say? When it coincides with potential criminality, what you use big words there, man. I don't know exactly.
No. Like what I'm trying to say is, like this general pardon wouldn't have mattered. I don't care about the gun case for Hunter Biden. But the idea that now he's pardoned from the gun case, he's pardoned from the Burisma case, he's pardoned from the collusion with the Biden case, he's pardoned from any kind of federal criminal charges during the period that we believe he was committing these criminal federal charges is insane. I've never seen anything like that. And the idea that you do that, so the power of this pardon is it won't even start any criminal proceedings for any. So the second any criminal proceedings come, if they are federal in nature, immediately the pardon takes effect. The idea that this pardon came out at this time.
I mean, again, like I don't necessarily think the pardon is great or anything. Like, how could it? Again, I think it's a dumb decision on Biden's behalf. I think it's an act of corruption. I just think that whether or not it's a general pardon or a specific pardon is not a deciding factor in whether I think something is better or worse. But also, I don't even know. There probably are examples of these in history before. I just don't know.
You have to give some. You have to put some nuance into things, man, because. Like Isaac's, he told a funny story about the prostitution thing. I mean, come on, he can pardon something like that.
Wait, why?
That was funny.
I don't know if that added nuance. I just think that was crazy.
I mean, it's funny, man. I mean, you would. I get why you would have a specific pardon for that, but if it was, holy shit, no matter what you guys bring, I know there's like 15 cases brewing. If it's federal in nature and it's not a state level case, it's not going to do it. I mean, where are you going to find the state level case on Hunter Biden? What, he drove drunk?
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. But also there are examples of general pardons in the history of the U.S. Nixon's pardon was a general pardon. It was a pardon for all offenses against the United States which he, Richard Nixon, has committed or may have committed or taken part in during the period from January 20th, 1969 to August 9th, 1974. So that's 5 years. 5 years there. That's half the length of Hunter's, but...
Let me just kind of like... Let me understand. You actually believe I would have let Trump get away with this? I would have never let that happen.
You do. Do you care at all that Trump pardoned 5 different people that were accused of obstructing justice in his behalf? Do you care at all that he pardoned the father of his...
on cocaine. He has gun charges, whatever, felonies. He has these fake tapes.
Do you care at all that Trump pardoned Hunter or Jared Kushner's dad? Do you care at all about that?
Well, I'm telling you, I'm giving you the Jared Kushner's dad. I mean, the thing is, he was already prosecuted for it, and it was a single case, a single charge. He was already in prison for it, and then he was pardoned for it. Basically, he pardoned
he was pardoned for a crime he committed.
He's going to spend in jail for that thing. But he's not giving him a general pardon on everything for the rest of his life. But
I don't think you actually care about that. If Trump gave him a general pardon, I don't think you would care either. If Trump gave a general pardon to any of the people, you want to care either. I don't think you actually care about that.
I feel like I wouldn't care because it's not I don't believe he was at the level of scrutiny as Hunter Biden. Hunter Biden had a level of scrutiny above everything else. There was a lot of corruption coming up from Ukraine.
What was Hunter Biden charged with, Minar?
There's a lot of allegations, and now you're going to tell me I can't even pursue any allegations.
What was Hunter Biden charged with?
Like let's say we do find
evidence. Wait, no, answer that, please. Tell me what Hunter Biden was charged with. Do you know?
We know that the Burisma...
He was not charged with anything involving Burisma. Nope.
No. I know he was charged over gun charges or something. He didn't sign the gut papers or something. But no, what I'm telling you, we know he worked with Burisma. We know Burisma was corrupt. We know it was under prosecution. So we know they fired the prosecutor.
We're talking about pardons and charges right now. You can say Hunter Biden may have been involved in corruption of Burisma, whatever.
You can't even come up with any... Like Trump requested evidence over this, right? He requested evidence over why did the Poroshenko get fired.
Illegally, yes.
Now if he finds the evidence... What federal charges are going to be brought up forwards? Now it doesn't even matter because of the pardon within
the general pardon. Sure.
that was happening. The corruption was. So it's almost like a blanket case. Okay, look, you can do whatever you want for 10 years, and then after become a priest. You know, like these girls, what they do? They go on a big body count spree, and then they become born again virgins. You remember Isaac?
I don't know what you're on about, but like, I mean, again, like I would even agree in principle if 2 crimes are the exact same, a general pardon can be worse than a specific pardon, but whether or not it's a general pardon or specific pardon is not like a deciding factor, or I shouldn't say, it's not something I weigh super heavily in determining whether Trump's pardons or Biden's pardons are more corrupt or whatever.
Your neighborly sheet poster, the idea is you can't even bring up any criminal charges in that period at all, forever, for all of history, no matter what. He's pardoned from it. Like anytime you bring up any charges,
how do you feel about the fact that
the whole criminal?
How do you feel about the fact that Jack Smith can't prosecute Trump anymore?
I just believe that Hunter Biden thanks God every single day. He wakes up every morning. Like,
wait, can you answer my question? How do you feel about the fact that Jack Smith can't go after Trump anymore?
So yeah, I mean, that special prosecution, I feel like it's a complete. It actually kind of proves it's a complete hoax, that the special prosecutor was sucking the taxpayer money and just literally prolonging and kind of actually making a joke of the legal justice system. Holy shit!
How?
Because every time there was some kind of like, the special prosecutor worked with other prosecutors, correct? Fannie Willis and all these others to bring up these charges.
That's not that unusual, but like, sure, I'm sure Jack Smith has worked with other prosecutors.
So my understanding is the special prosecutor is the one that funded all the other prosecutions underneath Trump. That's my understanding. That's why the special
I don't think he
funded.
I don't think he funded some of the state level prosecutions, but here's a question, Manar. I'm gonna ask like a series of yes or no questions.
But this is proof that all of this was a joke.
Nope. I'm gonna prove it to you by asking a few yes or no questions, and I'm gonna hold you to an answer on all of them. Okay? Yes or no? Did John Eastman say that his plan was going to?
Huh?
Yes or no? Did John Eastman say his plan was going to violate the ECA?
ECA.
The Electoral Count Act, federal law.
Did he say what that would line with ECA?
His plan for January 6th would violate the Electoral Count Act.
Who said that? Jack Smith?
No, John Eastman, the guy who came up. Do you know who John Eastman is?
No.
Oh my fight! So you're claiming that the entire prosecution is a lie, but you don't even know who John Eastman is, one of like the main contributors to the plot on January 6th?
Bro, I didn't claim that it's a lie. I'm claiming that it's actually using up they used up the taxpayer dollars.
I mean, I agree, it's using taxpayer dollars.
Hoax charges, and they were just trumping up and wasting time, and it was and then the moment they wanted, and whenever they were able to.
No, I don't dispute that they're using taxpayer dollars. The thing I dispute is that these are hoax charges, as evidenced by the fact that one, Eastman literally said that this was going to break the law. Do you acknowledge that?
What would break the law?
Do you plan on having do you know any of what Eastman was saying Mike Pence could do on January 6th?
Did Mike Pence do anything on January 6th?
No, Mike Pence refused. But if he had gone through with it, it would have broken the law.
Okay, but my understanding is there was no like formal writing. There was nothing in like court documentation to say that Trump forced anything upon Mike Pence, and Mike Pence was
Do you agree or disagree? Do you agree or disagree that John Eastman and Donald Trump both wanted Pence not to certify the vote?
Bro, it was a tweet. Like, that's all we saw. It was a tweet.
It wasn't just a tweet. It wasn't just a tweet. We have multiple. In the January 6th testimony of like Greg Jacobs and of a few other people who were around Trump at the time. All of them testify.
It's a tweet that you're overreading into.
I'm not over. We can pull up direct quotes if we want to. These are not.
I would love that.
Okay, well, let's pull it. We can pull up the one tweet, and we can pull up some of the testimony from Greg Jacobs, who all argue that
It's my understanding there was no formal policy put in place for you to come here and say that this is against the law and he was actually unconstitutional in any
Eastman
matter.
said it was going to break the law.
Maybe you misunderstood a speech. Maybe you misunderstood an.
Eastman said it. I'm going to read a direct quote from Eastman. So now that the president has been set that the Electoral Count Act is not quite so sacrosanct as was previously claimed, I implore you to now consider one more relatively minor violation and adjourn for 10 days to allow the legislators time to finish their investigations. So that's him saying that he plans to break the law.
So wait for 10 days. That's one last violation.
That would break the law. That's him saying waiting for 10. Mike Pence adjourning the session for 10 days would break the law.
He told them just wait for extra 10 days, and Mike Pence refused.
That would break. Do you agree that that would break the law?
Where is it? Let me see. John, did you advise? Who is it?
John Eastman. I can send you the link to literally the email where he's saying this. This is John Eastman.
I appreciate damping down the rhetoric. I will respond in kind.
What?
Go ahead. Let me bring it down. I was trying to read it.
What? This is John Eastman emailing Greg Jacobs, which is Pence's legal counsel, and it's him saying that Mike Pence should adjourn the session to certify the electoral vote for 10 days, so the state legislators could, in theory, certify Trump's alternate slate of electors. Alternate's a funny word. Alternate. We'll be nice. We'll say alternate.
The VP approved the motion above, which was the violation of 3 U.S.C. 17.
Mm-hmm.
And then they had the debate over the motion in violation over requirement 3 U.S.C. 15 after the votes. Employer to consider one more relatively minor violation and adjourn. So minor violation is what? This is a criminal charge?
To adjourn for 10 days. It would break the Electoral Act.
To allow the legislatures to finish their investigations. No. I know what you mean. But all the time we have the trials, for example. I'll tell you, let me give you an example. So court trial.
Okay, so wait. Before you go down this road, you agree that Eastman conceded that this would break the Electoral Act, right?
100%. But listen. Let me
okay,
give
great.
you an example.
So do you not think...
Do you agree that if you're in a court of law and you need to provide a little bit more evidence, you might have to go over the final deadline and break the rules of the court sometimes? And
no.
You're going to have to ask the judge to...
There's no judge involved in this.
Violation
no,
and give you
there's
one
no judge.
extension.
You're
allowed more extensions.
We're not talking about a judge here. We're talking about the certification of the electoral vote. He's saying that Mike Pence should adjourn the session to count the electoral vote on January 6th for 10 days to allow state legislators to look into false claims of election fraud and then certify.
You're allowed, if you make up a good enough excuse, you're allowed to come up with certain ways to get extensions all the time. This is seen all over.
We're not talking about getting
extensions.
We're talking about breaking the Electoral Act. You don't need you can't come up with a good enough excuse to break the
Electoral Act. He didn't say do it so we can break the Electoral Act. He said so we can get a little bit more time so we have a small.
Which he said would be a violation of what, Minar? Which he said would be a violation of what, Minar?
Let me read it. USC 15.
I linked it in the side chat. Do you want to go over the exact parts of the law that the plan would break? Do we really need to dive that deep, or can we just take Eastman's word at it? I can tell you the exact parts of the law that it would break, but you're just going to pivot again once I tell you that.
Wait a minute. Let me read into it, because this is a long set of emails that apparently are one after the other.
This is from Greg Jacobs' deposition for the January 6th Select Committee, by the way. Question: did John Eastman ever admit, as far as you know, in front of the president that his proposal would violate the Electoral Act? Answer: I believe he did so on the 4th, as in January 4th, 2021. And then Greg Jacobs' deposition on page 96. Eastman acknowledged that the legal basis for his proposal, for his proposed paths, was the same. And as recounted by Greg Jacobs, you couldn't get there unless you set aside a number of provisions of the Electoral Act. And there's an email here too. Yeah, this email I brought up.
What are you even after? All of this, all of this led to criminal charges.
It did lead to criminal charges against Trump. What do you mean?
Right now is a conspiracy theory. Right now is what you're.
No, it's not. No. It all led to criminal. Nope. It all led to criminal charges against Trump. Trump was indicted on this. The thing I'm trying to get.
What Trump was indicted on the impeachment? BS.
Not on the impeachment. He was indicted on.
He was never criminally indicted on that.
He was criminally indicted on attempts to overturn the 2020 election. All these things are mentioned in the
My understanding
indictment.
was all the cases, every single one of them fell apart. The Fannie Willis, the
That doesn't. What I'm trying to,
the Fulton County,
the
I
dialogue
think.
path I'm going down a few. You said these were all hoax charges. What I'm trying to get you to realize right now, these people admitted in writing that they were planning to break the law.
Bro, he said that give me an extension. I have a small extension. There's no writing of I'm gonna take over
Which he said was going to violate the law. Which he said was going to violate the law. Which he said was going to violate the law. Him himself, he conceded that.
I acknowledge in the final proposal as to actual actions as taken by the Vice President in violation of the ECA that was reiterated to last night was more
I don't
modest.
know what you're.
The legal thing
What are
is
you even
not
reading
it
right
doesn't
now?
appear.
Are you reading Greg Jacobs' reply?
Yeah, because that. Well, the
Greg
reply
Jacobs is on
429.
my side about this, by the way, but
Does not have the power to decide things unilaterally because that was pushed publicly, repeatedly by the president.
yeah, that's.
What do you mean
That's
pushed publicly, repeatedly? Like, where's the policy? This is the idea that.
the idea was that Mike Pence would not certify the electoral vote.
And taking over the electoral college publicly, and he never talked to anybody within the electoral college or the state.
He did.
Or the federal government. Sorry.
Wait. You're just wrong in that. He did. I understand that you have never looked into this at all, so you have no fucking understanding of what happened. But he did. He tried multiple times. Giuliani called the Speaker of the House in Arizona and tried to get the Speaker of the House in Arizona not to certify their electoral votes there. Trump called the Secretary of State in Georgia, Trump himself and Giuliani, called the Secretary of State in Georgia asking them to find election fraud so that they would not certify the vote.
Relax, Nonfon. You're making it sound like he's doing this.
Do you concede that Trump did call people in the electoral college to try to get them to not certify? Wait, no, Manar, I need you to concede on this. Do you agree or disagree that Trump and his team called people to try to get states to not certify their electoral vote?
Because they had an investigation going and they wanted to make sure where these votes.
So wait, no, we can talk about that in a second. Do you agree? So that's you conceding, right, that they did call people.
Can I speak?
No, because you're rambling about election fraud claims. We will get there.
You need to let me give you a counterpoint.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, here's the counterpoint. You're alleging that Trump is doing this because he wants to take over America, and he doesn't, and he's so greedy, and he wants to be president, stay president. What if I allege that every single time we see a reference of make this a violation for us is because there's an investigation or because there might be some scandal or there's a little bit of looks like there's some kind of legal work happening here, so we need an extension. That's all I can see all the time that you're
No.
Right now,
you don't understand what I'm talking about because you think we're talking about a court session. We're not talking about a court session. We're talking about the official proceeding on January 6th, the certification of the electoral vote, the thing that was delayed by the riots on January 6th.
You're speculating that he did it. He's doing this because he wants to take over the government. I'm saying he literally just needed a 10-day extension just to see where these votes coming from. And honestly, we should have taken that 10-day extension because look, now we found out that there's 10 million votes or that disappeared altogether. Nobody knows where they are. There's some legal cases that are being winning by the RNC and by the Republican Party. They've been winning against some I forget where it was, those counties, but Pennsylvania, I believe. They just won a case there of new 20,000 mail-in votes or something that appeared from the same signature. Anyways, so. Right. That's all. I'm bringing you a theory that, hey, yeah, they were asking to break the law and create some minor infractions, but this is because it's a good, there's a legal investigation happening, so we're going to have, it's like basically telling the principal sending a letter saying, hey, we're going to have to postpone the field trip because there might be a storm coming up. You're allowed to create an adjudication, like stuff that's
There's no
shut down.
you don't understand what the fuck we're talking about. There's no adjudication here because we're not talking about a court proceeding. The thing that we're talking about is the certification of the vote on January 6th, and I don't know why you can't get that
My understanding is they were bringing up court proceedings, and there was investigations happening. They needed extensions. That's why he was requesting.
I understand that's your understanding because you're unbelievably fucking retarded and I've never looked into this issue at all. No, what I'm saying is
no. You believe he did that because he wants to take over the government, right?
I believe that Donald Trump wanted Mike Pence not to certify the vote on January 6th.
Why?
Because he wanted to overturn the election.
So what?
He wanted to stay president.
What to happen? Then what happens after that? So he can stay president forever?
Not stay president. He wanted to stay president. He wanted to...
Well, how about I tell you, that's the dumbest theory I've ever heard in my life.
Do you agree?
Show me proof they had any kind of system set up so he can take over governance without the need for an electoral college, without the need for a Congress.
The plan relied on the electoral.
This is the only email you're going to show me that he created a system so he can take over the government using this email. Are you fucking kidding me?
My claim doesn't. Manar, my claim does not rely on any of this. In fact, that's not true. My claim doesn't rely on any of this. My only claim is that Donald Trump wanted Mike Pence not to certify the electoral count on January 6th because he wanted to stay president forever.
What happens after? Why would he do that? I'm claiming that there's an investigation. There's some extra votes. There was some law procedures happening. They would need an extension, and they asked for an extension, even though it might break some minor violations. And he made sure to understand they were minor. And if they weren't minor, then they backed off immediately, and Mike Pence passed out. He's like, I don't have the unilateral power over this. And then,
you understand Mike Pence disagreed with Trump on that, right?
This theory that they were doing this because they want to take over the government, and then they were gonna certify the vote forcefully to make Trump. And even if the Congress doesn't allow this to happen, then he was just gonna take over the Congress, and then he was just where is this?
My claim doesn't rely on that at all. Do we want to read the Eastman memo? Like, we can read the Eastman memo, which is one of the plans.
My theory is better. There was possibility for some kind of shady business. There were evidence of criminal.
Wait, let's say there was election fraud. Minar, let's say Minar, shut up. Let's say I agree with you. There was election fraud. Do you still concede that this would violate the Electoral Count Act?
Sure, and you can do stuff like that.
Okay, great.
That's why you ask for a formal extension. That's why you ask for a formal extension.
Nope, it was not a formal. It was not a formal extension. No, it's not a formal extension in writing. This was
then
John
why are
Eastman.
You asking for formal? When do you ask for? How do you ask for a formal extension? Go ahead.
There's no way to ask for a formal extension here because it's against the law.
Your professor, hey professor, I know this is after the deadline, but I need. That's what I'm giving you. Like, why are you acting like this happens all the time in court of law?
No, there's no court here, Minar. Minar, we're not talking about court. There's no court. There's no court proceeding right now.
You get extensions all the time. 10 days is
Minar, we're not talking about court. Minar, we're not talking about court. What we're talking about is the certification on the vote on January 6th. The rules for the certification of the vote on January 6th are set out in the Electoral Count Act. John Eastman wanted Mike Pence to break the Electoral Count Act. Do you agree or disagree with what I just said?
What do you mean? What does it mean by so sacrosanct? What does that mean?
John Eastman told Trump that he thought the Electoral Count Act was unconstitutional. Now, John Eastman previously admitted that he doesn't actually think the Electoral Count Act is unconstitutional.
Yeah, but the legislatures had an investigation going on, man. So what are we supposed to do?
No. By January 6th, all the investigations were closed. They'd all already certified their vote. That's not true. What he wanted to do, because Trump did file a ton of lawsuits about his false election fraud claims, he wanted to adjourn the vote so it could be sent back to the states and they could redo their investigations and hopefully somehow find election fraud and then certify Trump's fake slate of electors, or set a deadline of January 15th. And if the states hadn't certified a slate of electoral votes by then, it would just be thrown to the House delegation, and the House delegation would elect Trump.
Okay, so this is the idea that this is why Trump wanted to shut down just the Electoral College for just 10 extra days because he wanted to take over the government, make over the ECA Act, and then use some kind of Congress power to announce him as president. A load of BS. A complete
It's not a
load of
load.
BS.
It's
We
written
don't
down
see this
here. Here we
ever
go.
being mapped on
In its
reality.
okay, here's a memo from Jenna Ellis. In its formal request, a vice president should require a response from each state legislator no later than 7 p.m. EST on January 15, 2021. If any state legislator fails to provide a timely response, no electoral votes can be opened or counted from that state. The Constitution provides that if no candidate for candidate for president receives a majority of electoral votes, the Congress shall vote by state delegation. And the state delegation presumably would vote for Trump because it was majority Republican.
So when you break the ECA Act, what happens?
It's against the law, and it should
then
be
what
charged.
happens?
You should be charged and go to jail.
What's the minimum charge?
I don't know what the minimum charge is. I don't know.
I want to know how severe this act is.
I don't see why it's particularly relevant. But the consequence of breaking it would be overturning the election. So it seems pretty severe.
So you think you can't adjourn the session because the ECA says no adjournment while the compelling evidence that the election was stolen continues to build and is already overwhelming? The siege is because you and your boss did not.
What are you even
do
reading right
what
now?
was necessary to allow this to be aired in a public way so the American people can see for themselves.
I have no clue what you're quoting. Right? What are you quoting?
So this is all from the evidence that you shared. I'm reading.
I don't know what specific thing you're quoting. That's what I'm asking. I don't know what.
I believe that's Eastman.
What?
saying
I
that-
don't even know what you're quoting. What are you quoting?
Relax, bro. I'm just reading from the thing. Is it unconstitutional
which
for
thing?
the ECA to direct the members should be objections? At least in the first instance?
Members can object. Members of Congress can object to a certification to vote. It's not constitutional it's a violation of the ECA for the vice president to unilaterally not certify to vote or unilaterally not count slates of electors.
Is this true that if the Vice President Pence implemented the plan, the PA legislature voted to rectify its electorals, its electors?
It wouldn't surprise me if John Eastman is lying there, but it could be true. But it's not particularly relevant.
Why?
Because it's still a violation of the ECA, and that would just mean they got closer in their attempts to overturning the election.
The ECA? Who cares about the ECA if you're actually...
The line of dialogue I'm going down with you is that these people literally wrote down that they're going to break the law.
Listen, you're allowed to get an extension on something unconstitutional. If something unconstitutional is happening, you need to investigate. You're not going to be just forcefully shoving somebody. This is not breaking the law. You're not breaking the ECA. I'm sure in the ECA, I'm going to find you now, and I'm going to go into and read the ECA, and I'm sure I'm going to find a way that you can actually ask for adjournment or some kind of extension.
Well, you can. To be clear, you can. There are
details for investigative, for actual legislative issues when it's an official matter.
There are procedures in the ECA to object to the certification of the vote. There are no procedures in the ECA that allow the vice president to unilaterally not certify the vote or unilaterally adjourn for 10 days and call a recess.
Okay, that was what Trump...
that is what Trump and Eastman wanted Pence to do.
Which email here shows it? I know that this is a response.
The email that I just sent where Eastman said that he wants them to adjourn for 10...
But it's not the actual request.
Request for what? There's no formal request here because it's illegal to do so. Who are you, like, what do you mean?
Yeah, but all this is a response saying, no, I can't do a unilateral vote as a vice president. That's all it is. This is all you're showing. You're not showing the request, hey, you as a vice president, can you make sure you take over the government unilateral vote?
Yeah, that's all I need to show here. Menard, the only thing I want to show you here is that these people literally wrote down that they want to break the law. And it's insane to call these fake charges when they literally wrote down they want to break the law. That's my point here.
Bro, listen to me. This has nothing. You're implicating the president into something that has none of his business, man. What are you talking about? This has... They're talking within each other's vicinity about some kind of question about some kind of legal matter when it comes to just legislative issue about the electorals.
Again, I quoted you from Greg Jacobs' deposition.
And he's trying to understand in a legal manner if this is going to be something that works. That's all there is. Yeah, they're going to communicate. This is two lawyers talking to each other.
Again, I already quoted to you Greg Jacobs'
Well, they're talking to each other
deposition.
all the time are talking about the threshold of breaking the law. Yeah.
What?
All the time, lawyers talk about the threshold. They're always on that line, the threaded line of breaking the law. They're always getting.
Lawyers
That's
are
what
not
lawyers
always.
do. All they do is
Lawyers
talk
are
about
not
breaking the law.
always on the line of breaking the law. That's not true. But these are
They're
people.
always on
This
that
is
line.
John Eastman
Theory. They're
literally
always
saying.
that theory.
John
They
Eastman is
always
literally.
come with the law theory.
John Eastman is literally saying he wants to break the law. And Pence and Trump.
No. He said there's a minor violation, and I'm
Of
sure
the law,
it's not going to be
yes.
anything more than 10 days. But if we start getting some actual electoral, like it seems like there's, I mean, they're probably going to ask for another extension after the 10 days if Pennsylvania actually, you know what I mean, switched up the voting.
Yeah, then they could have overturned the election. That just makes it worse for you. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what the relevant point is
Holy
there.
shit! Legally overturned legally because they found evidence
It's not.
of
It
corruption.
would not be legal. It would not be legal.
Oh,
No.
we
It would
broke the ECA Act, but we did find some evidence of production, and legally the
It
legislature
would not
is
be
the one that
legal.
changed the
I don't know.
electoral
I don't know
code.
how you keep arguing it's legal when they literally said it was illegal. They literally said it was going to violate the law.
The ECA Act.
The electoral
The-
this is
the-
federal law. Do you dispute that's federal law, or like do you?
But
This is a really good memo from
It's
Greg
not- it's
Jacobs
not
explaining
like taking over the
exactly how it
government or
breaks the
anything.
law. What'd you say?
It's not
Sorry.
taking over the government.
I don't care if it's taking over the government right now. What I care is whether or not it breaks the law.
Okay, they asked to break the law because there's evidence of
Yes, great, okay.
the necessary need for an investigation. Yeah, they're allowed that.
Okay, great.
It's not their business that their investigation comes up with an actual true evidence, and it turns out that they have to actually overturn the Pennsylvania election electoral vote, and then possibly overturn the whole election since Pennsylvania is a fucking swing state. It's not their fault. But I'll tell you what, they
Great,
are
so-
forced to investigate. They have to.
Okay, great. So, if they literally wrote down that they want to violate the law, do you think it's fair to call these fake charges?
Okay, listen. So if you're gonna sit here and sue them for trying to break the ECA Act, I'm okay with that. Go ahead, sue them.
Okay,
But they're
great.
gonna
That's
allege
what
we
they're
didn't
charged
break
for.
the ECA Act. We just asked for an extension. That's all they're gonna allege. You're not
Which
gonna be
was
able to
breaking the
actually prove that
ECA.
they did anything. All you're proving is they talked about maybe we let's see if there's any legal theory around us that but you're
asked
not
Mike-
proving that they did any kind of breaking of the law anywhere. And then at the end, when you look
It's
at
conspiracy.
the precedent, when you look at the actual history, it turns out nothing happened.
What do you mean when you look at the actual history? Turns out
All
nothing happened.
it is just some bullshit. They were talking to each other. They didn't actually commit any actions. They couldn't actually.
Well, I agree that Mike Pence didn't go through with the plan, but this is still criminal conspiracy, right?
What a load of bullshit. What a load. You're a conspiracy theorist yourself.
Uh-huh. I mean, this is like writing
Oh,
down
this is not
writing down
conspiracy
your plan to
theory.
break the
Oh, this
law
is
is
not
criminal
conspiracy theory.
conspiracy. It's
Oh,
criminal
this is not conspiracy theory that you believe that Trump was going to overturn the government and use the legislature to take over all because...
Manar, we're
what-
talking about...
evidence of corruption? That's what? That's your whole alleging here is that
Manar,
you're so...
all I'm
butthurt?
alleging here, Manar, we're talking about Hunter Biden right now. Remember on that? The thing I'm alleging here is that since Trump and his allies literally wrote down, we're going to break the law, and now Jack Spence can't prosecute Donald Trump for it, I don't give a fuck that Hunter Biden can't be prosecuted for any potential crimes that he committed as well. That's what I'm saying here.
All right, I'm glad that you explained it because I don't believe that those are the same level at all. The idea that they were conspiring with each other to get a small extension
To break
in
the
violation
ECA,
of some
which is breaks the-
sort of specific act, ECA Act, one specific law that they're breaking, yeah, that potentially could have had serious consequences, but it's because they were actually smart and good at their job and they were able to witness the alleged,
So just to be
law-breaking
clear,
actions.
you let Trump off the hook for that.
Let
Do
me
you also
finish,
let Trump off the hook for all the
Those are
people that
not
he pardoned for
equivalent
the
with one
Mueller
another.
report?
These situations are not equivalent with one another, Nonfon.
Yeah, because you just let Trump off the
This
hook
is
and you
not
don't
a
actually.
general. If he pardoned, let's say I let him. Let's say he pardons John Eastman. Okay, I'm actually okay with him pardoning John Eastman completely. And only on the, but it would be only on this ECA violation that he
Okay,
requested this 10-day violation. It wouldn't be a general pardon for 10 years from 2016 all the way to 2026 and call it a day and walk out and say, hey, I know this is corruption, but fuck it. I mean, everybody does
Again,
it.
we ran through
This
this.
is not similar.
This is
They're
a
not equivalent to one another.
This is an insane standard that you
Absolutely
concocted
not.
because this is the only way that you can defend it. Whether or
No,
not a
because
pardon,
you're only
yeah,
pardoning him
absolutely.
from one
Whether or not a
act-
pardon, we ran through this earlier. Whether or not a pardon is general or specific doesn't make the pardon morally just. Doesn't make the pardon not an act of corruption. It's obviously worse to pardon someone for the specific crime of killing 500 people in an anthrax attack than it is to pardon someone generally because he's alleged of committing shoplifting. Obviously,
Well,
the specific pardon is worse there.
Generally, I would accept this until you understand that general pardons are should be unconstitutional. Holy shit, this is crazy.
I mean,
General pardon should be unconstitutional.
I don't know. I don't really have an opinion on that, nor do I think I have to.
I mean, no. I
but-
mean, I would agree with you on any other.
Do you know what I think
usually
should be
pardons-
unconstitutional?
Usually pardons
No.
are specific. The guy's already in jail and he's just pardoned, or he's on house arrest and they pardon the rest of his procedures. You know what I mean? He's already been found criminal and they're just gonna get rid of his time sentencing. That's all a pardon usually is. It's not a get out of jail
Trump-
free
you
card
realize
from any
Trump
criminal
pardoned-
charges forever for the rest of your history. What the fuck?
Trump also pardoned one of the people he pardoned wasn't even convicted yet when he pardoned them for the obstruction of justice into the Mueller report. I forget which one it was exactly. It might have been. I think Paul Manafort was convicted, and I think there were like a few other people. I think maybe it might have been Roger Stone that wasn't actually convicted yet, but was just charged. Or maybe it was Michael Flynn. It was one of these fuckers.
Jaywalking is breaking the law. You're just gonna put everybody in jail over that shit? Like, what the fuck, man? Like, you gotta put some.
Well,
some
if
sense of nuance
someone
to things.
no, if someone was charged with jaywalking and we had video of them jaywalking, I might disagree in principle that they should be charged for that. But I wouldn't say they're fake charges. I would say, yeah, they committed jaywalking.
Okay, that's what I told you. Okay, they broke the law, but it's not actually breaking the law. They're actually asking for an extension, and they know that it might actually go overboard of the ECA deadlines, and that's why they're requesting for a formal extension, asking for, hey, can we get that done? And then they got the theory, no, you can't get it done. And then they were like, okay, they didn't actually. You would actually prove that there was a criminality, and this is why the whole Smith special counsel is such a load of bullshit. This is why I'm saying it's a load of bullshit. Because you could have asked for example, an extension on, hey, is this a criminality judgment? You know what I mean? Like, hey, is what he actually did in the ECA? No. Like, this is what I'm trying to say. Nonfon is the whole Smith investigation was like this. Basically conspiracy theories based on, hey, these guys are communicating with each other, talking about law theory, and based on it, even though they didn't act. Like, I would agree with the John Smith investigation if they actually acted upon this. They were like, hey, look, 10-year is actually a break of law. Still, let's fuck it. Let's go ahead and adjourn this for 10 years. Let's go ahead and allow the Pennsylvania electoral votes to switch up. Let's go ahead and take over the government. That would be the Smith special counsel coming into work and actually activating and doing great work. But the idea that the special counsel, there was nothing to like that. The moment they understood that this legal theory is actually illegal and it's not gonna that they can't even ask for an extension on this, is gonna break the law, and this minor violation is not gonna be something that get kind of ask for a pardon away from. And there might be some kind of criminality charges coming from it. Then they just let it go. That's the actual proof of what happened. But you're coming up with this conspiracy theory, acting like, no, it's Smith. The Smith special counsel is coming up with this fucking conspiracy theory, and you're following along with them, saying that all of this was basically them trying to come up with a conspiracy to break in the law. Everybody writes up about law theory all the time. They're communicating with each other. It's a bunch of lawyers communicating with each other, They're always talking about the threshold of when the law is going to be broken. Should I be doing this? Or is there, if I do this, is that going to be heard? Is it possible I can ask for an extension there? I know I've broken the deadline here, but I need a little bit more time. Is this possible? This is normal talk all the time. The idea that this is legal term now, you know what I mean, legal definition of conspiracy, conspiring together, even though there was no crime. They didn't actually shut down the ECA. They didn't actually break the ECA. Nobody actually forced Mike Pence to create this unilateral vote. They didn't go from another avenue, which they could have, from the legislative avenue. Instead, no actual criminality happened, and still the Smith investigation is going on. What is this bullshit? This is why it's a bullshit case.
Right. So it seems like you just disagree with the notion of criminal conspiracy. I don't understand.
My brother, there was no actual, like, they didn't actually break the law in the end. So why is there
I understand because
Pence
because it's criminal conspiracy. I understand they didn't break the law because Pence wouldn't.
It's conspiracy. Yeah, you're forcing upon. I'm telling you, you're conspiracy theorists. That's what I've been telling you. You're like coming up with this theory that there might be a conspiracy. That's what I'm calling.
No, it's not a theory. They wrote it down. It's criminal conspiracy.
It's legal. It's legal.
Criminal
theories.
conspiracy.
Criminal
conspiracy
talk,
is not legal.
Theory. It's legal. It's legal talk. Legal theory. It's
criminal conspiracy is not
lawyers
legal.
Speaking with one another. Legal.
Criminal
theory,
conspiracy
yes.
is not legal. And also, at bare minimum, some of them were.
Speaking lawyer talk is legal theory. It's not conspiracy. It's not criminal theory. It's
criminal conspiracy. And also, at bare minimum, some of them were involved in the fake electors thing, and it's illegal to send fake elector slates to NARA, which they tried to do.
If the crime happened, you would.
People
would
already.
Right.
I mean, like, we can pull up the certificates of the fake electors. Do you want to see that? Do you want to see the video of the Wisconsin?
The only proof you have is that they understood that it was illegal and they couldn't do it, and then they backed off immediately. That's all proof you have.
We have the documents themselves. We have the envelopes they were mailed in. We have the video. We have the videos of them signing them. We have the.
Like, this is lawyer talking to one another.
This isn't right now. I'm talking about an action that they actually did, which was sign and transmit fake electoral votes.
Who?
The fake electors, Sidney Powell and a bunch of other people in Georgia, and Kenneth Chesbrough in Wisconsin, and a bunch of other people in Wisconsin. We can pull up some of their names, like.
And those electoral votes came up as what? Later after this is basically what they were relying on.
Well, initially they wanted to get a state to certify their fake electors. That never ended up happening. So next they basically said, well, this is basically a quote from John Eastman. I can pull up the exact quote, but John Eastman said, well, despite the fact that they aren't certified, we can still use them to create enough confusion to not certify the election. So Kenneth Chesbrough said, what we could have Pence do is say Pence has 2 slates of electoral votes from the 7 swing states, and therefore he shouldn't count any of them. He should just send it back to the states to determine which ones to certify. And then John Eastman said, actually, that wouldn't work either. We should just have Pence not certify the vote at all.
Who's John Eastman, by the way?
He's a lawyer for Trump. He's a
Okay. And every time I read John Eastman, he's actually rectifying, fixing Jacob's legal theory. So it seems like Jacob is the one kind of enticing all these conspiracy, and then John is actually.
Greg Jacobs is Pence's legal counsel, who explained to Mike Pence why Pence couldn't follow through with the plan.
The opposite. It seems like John is actually coming up with all this legal theory.
Yes,
and then Jacob
exactly.
Is helping him.
He's explaining why it's wrong.
So who's Jacob? Another lawyer?
Greg Jacobs is Mike Pence's legal counsel.
Perfect. Exactly. So that's what I'm saying. This is all my claim. This is 2 lawyers speaking with one another, trying to understand if they can actually come up with some kind of way to prove.
This is John Eastman arguing that Mike Pence should break the law so they can overturn the election. That is what this is. You would never hold this standard to Kamala Harris, by the way, if it came out like Kamala Harris had lawyers saying that she could overturn the election. You would never, ever hold that standard to a Democrat.
If you tell me there was the Democrat trying to say right now that they had extra votes that they found, and extra electorals that are going to come out and actually confess that they found extra votes, and those votes are enough to overthrow that state or that certain election, and that can you're going to tell me that can lead to the overthrow of the whole voting matter, honestly, I would accept it.
Okay, that's insane. I wouldn't accept it either, but okay.
Well,
I don't believe you either. I don't believe you either, considering, again, you, in this very conversation, you're holding Biden and Trump to very different standards.
Look at this.
Wait, can you just answer? Do you think it's worse that Trump pardoned 5 different people for obstructing justice on his behalf versus Biden pardoned his own son?
No, because I'm okay with those specific pardons. I'm okay with, hey, looking at a certain crime, understanding and
why are you okay with them just because they're a specific pardon?
Nonfon, looking at a certain crime or allowing a certain, for example, a litmus test saying, oh, look, this guy served a little bit of time. Oh, this guy is already hurt by this, his reputation. Oh, something happened to this guy here. Or maybe there's a possibility that this investigation is not true, and this is I'm gonna go ahead and give him a pardoning. So usually, there's a specific manner and a specific matter why the president actually pardons a human being. But the idea that you're giving a complete void, a complete veil, where you're not allowed to touch the son of the president of the United States of America for the past 10 years, even knowing that there's some kind of shady dealings, not only is the gun charges, let alone those are the smallest pieces of evidence that we have. We have so much more coming from Burisma, the entanglement he has with his cocaine friends, possibly drug trafficking.
You're rambling. This is relevant. We already ran through this.
Nobody can bring up any charges, even though evidence could be found in the future, is insane.
We already ran through this.
I've never seen anyone be held on that standard. Usually, you're being pardoned on something that you've already seen the evidence for.
I gave you an example. I get Nixon's pardon. Nixon's pardon was also general in the same way Biden's pardon was. But we already ran through that just because a pardon is general versus specific doesn't make one pardon better or one pardon worse. I think it's worse because it's more corrupt of Trump to pardon 5 different people accused of obstructing justice on his behalf than it is for Biden to pardon his own son after Republicans investigated him for years and charged him with lying on a fucking gun form. Like, really, dude?
Why are you mad that he pardoned those human? Are those the guys that came in the Capitol? Is that who you're talking about?
No,
or like
Trump can't pardon them. Trump can't pardon the J6ers until he actually gets in office. I'm upset that he pardoned people like Paul Manafort and Roger Stone, who were accused of lying to Robert Mueller and witness tampering and lying to Congress on Trump's behalf.
Okay, I get it. Yeah, but that's like a 2-year crime. Okay,
That's not a 2-year crime.
Okay, it's not like money laundering on a white scheme. It's not interfering with other governmental orders.
But Biden was not. Hunter Biden was not charged with any of that.
Yeah, the Biden's interfering with the Ukrainian government orders.
They were not charged with that. The Republicans found nothing.
Oh, so firing the Poroshenko, the Attorney General of the whole
Hunter Biden and Joe Biden weren't charged with that because the Republicans investigated it and the Republicans found nothing. Or I was going to say found nothing. They found nothing implicating Joe Biden.
It doesn't matter what you're telling me. The fact check you showed me was BS. There were no sources. And we have it from Biden's own mouth. He said he gave a call and for the second day, the $1 billion was never going to show up. Anyways, man, I don't know, Nonfon. I don't know why you need to take a chill pill. What's happening to you is you got so mad. You got so mad you lost to Trump.
Mm-hmm.
And now you're just like going like full psycho addicto, like crazy. Yeah, like I wouldn't be surprised if you're drinking lean right now.
I drink caffeine. I don't drink lean, but I don't like. What do you mean I'm going full psycho? All I'm saying is I don't really care that much about Biden pardoning Hunter Biden because Trump abuses pardon power way worse. That's why I'm not losing sleep over it, even though I do think it's probably bad. But
brother, you have to agree with me. This is an insane pardon. Like usually people are pardoned for something they've already committed crimes for. You're not pardoned for
I don't think it's that, no. President pardoning his son after he's been investigated by Republicans nonstop for years for and accused of like
Brother,
two relatively minor crimes. That's not
brother,
an insane pardon.
if you told me, listen, this is why I told you free Biden, because I thought the pardon was over the gun charges. I thought the pardon was over like some kind of the cocaine charges. I thought he was gonna write pardon for this specific. I literally thought and when I heard of that Joe Biden was pardoning Hunter, I thought it was gonna say Joe Biden pardoned Hunter for his as an addict, and I knew he was going to mention something about his addiction in the pardoning, but I thought it was going to be for his gun violence or gun possession case or some kind of felony charges or something of some sort that I haven't heard about. The idea that he gave him a complete general pardon is insane to me. I couldn't even expect it. I never even thought about it for 10 years, and all the 10 years that we actually
That's not like
there was some kind of corruption.
how many years have Republicans investigated Hunter Biden and found nothing? I don't think it's that insane to give him a general pardon when like
Because
Republicans
when
will
we
never
asked for
stop
evidence,
investigating him.
We weren't allowed to be asked for evidence from the Ukrainian government.
You weren't allowed to withhold aid to try to interfere in the 2020 election. Tough break, dude. Like.
So Trump, when he comes and he was going to get some evidence, now Joe Biden completely pardoned Hunter Biden, and now no charges could ever be brought forward. Do you not see how crazy this is?
I mean, again, I don't think the pardon is necessarily good. I just don't think it's that crazy that a president would pardon his own son after Republicans investigated him for years and years and years and years and years and years and years.
I told you, I wouldn't have even thought about it as corruption. You called it corruption and scummy. I wouldn't have even thought about it. Like, I would have been like, "Hey, this is Big Daddy. He's helping me. You know, Big Daddy saving my day." I would have been like, "Hell yeah, no
You don't think that's corrupt? You don't think a president pardoning their son is corrupt?
Yeah, I'm like, Big Daddy, you're supposed to take care of me, baby. What the hell? Of course, you're the big president. You're gonna at least give me cake. You know, bring me some cake home. You know, bring me some tutti fruities. What the hell? You got all that money, Daddy. You're working all day. Bring me some tutti fruities with you." But the idea that he's completely, I couldn't believe it. Nonfon, you have to agree with me. This is unprecedented.
Nope, I already gave you an example. Nixon's pardon. Nope, Nixon's pardon was also general.
Who pardoned Nixon generally?
Gerald Ford. Do you know who Gerald Ford is? Do you know what Nixon did?
10-year clemency? 10-year clemency?
5 years.
Okay, so this is even worse than fucking Nixon. Holy shit! By the way, Nixon.
You said it was unprecedented, and I gave you another example of a general pardon.
The only one you gave us is a 5-year.
Does it need to be exactly 10 years? This is insane. This is it again. It's an insane standard that you would never hold if this happened on your side.
Never happened before. Never happened before.
I gave you an example. It did happen before. Someone gave Nixon a general pardon for 5 years. Gerald Ford did.
Exactly, it's never happened before. I knew you were never going to be able to get 10 years. This is crazy.
I mean, I agree. Like, no, like, how specific does it need to be? No one named Hunter Biden has been pardoned before for 10 years. You just moved it.
Are you a serious person, Nonfon?
I am a serious person, but you're just going to move the goalpost wherever. Generally,
let's get some likes on the Nonfon page. Come on, boys. We got a lot of people watching on YouTube. Let's get some like for Nonfon, because I'm about to clap them cheeks. Listen here, Nonfon.
Mm-hmm.
So you're gonna act like you're a Democrat and you care about America and you care about the prosperity of America.
Yep.
And then you're gonna see Joe Biden, the disgusting, slimy president.
My president.
Lost
president.
Your election. He lost your election. He lost you your party's power. You're not mad at him?
For that, I kind of am mad at him, yeah. I would say.
Yeah, right. We're mad, right? We're fucking, as liberals, we're mad at Joe. Fuck you, Joe. Anyways. So, Joe ruined it for us, right? He ruined the stability of our nation's ability to smoke weed every day. But Nonfon, how can you call yourself a liberal that cares about democracy and allow Joe Biden to pardon his son, who potentially
how many times have I said again? I think it's an act of corruption, and I think it's not a good pardon. It's very divisive for no reason.
Like I am crazy for mentioning.
You are crazy because you hold insane double standards that you would never hold if this was on the other side. Like,
Bro,
And not only do you
Bro,
have these double
it's
standards,
never
you have
happened
these double
before.
standards despite not knowing the facts of the case. You don't know any of the facts of what happened on January
All
6th.
right, I
You don't
don't
even
know
know who
the
John
direct-
Eastman is.
You're right. I don't know every single fact, but
You don't know. Stop. No.
So much.
No. You don't not know every single fact. You don't know who literally the main contributor to the January 6th plot was John Eastman. You don't know anything. You don't know anything.
Well, honestly, I wasn't looking at the January 6th, Pennsylvania electoral. I was looking at the Georgia mostly.
Right.
Those cases over there the most, and those all faltered.
John Eastman is probably indicted in Arizona too, in Georgia too. Yeah, John Eastman is indicted in Georgia too. So if you know a lot about the Georgia case, you should know about John Eastman. But you don't actually have it read. The only thing you've read about the Georgia Ritual case is that the prosecutors slept with each other and therefore it's all corrupt and everything's all fake. But
I mean, why would she fuck the dude if she was fucking she ruined the whole fucking taxpayer investigation. She's so stupid.
yeah, I agree. Yep,
She knew she was gonna fucking do that.
Yep.
She fucked him.
Yep, I agree.
She's so retarded. Like the idea that these fuckers are like, I don't even understand this. Like she might have had a case and then she ruined it. It's crazy. I don't know what to tell you. But to be honest, that's why I keep telling me every time I look at any of these cases, looks like fraud. Looks like there's. Honestly, that was fraud. That Georgia Fannie Willis bullshit is fraud. The other one is lack of evidence. The other one is conspiracy to enact a crime that never was enacted. What a load of fucking bullshit, man.
Do you agree that it is illegal to plan a crime?
Fuck that Smith investigation. You need to be mad about the Smith investigation. It took all our taxpayers' dollars and fucking presented you with nothing. Are you not mad about this?
It didn't present us with nothing.
I'm gonna bring out how much.
Wait, it didn't present us with nothing. It presented us with a lot of evidence. We're gonna get when Jack Smith is gonna release a 800-page report on the January 6th stuff, and I'm gonna read all of it. Like it doesn't present us with nothing at all. I understand that you haven't actually read any indictments and you don't know anything about it at all, but it does present us with a lot of evidence if you actually pay attention to it.
Because my understanding, Smith was basically the head of every single one of these indictments, all of them together.
No.
I was reading a lot of this.
He was the special prosecutor for the federal election interference case and the Mar-a-Lago federal documents case. I don't know if he might have funded some.
He's the one that
it wouldn't
hired
surprise me. What?
Is he not the one that hired?
Hired who? Your microphone is like a bad microphone. I don't think he hired any of the other prosecutors, but it wouldn't surprise me if they did give money to the states to do it or whatever. Hello? Your microphone sounded better when he said it. When he said hello. But
Yeah. So I want to know who hired Fannie Willis.
I don't know. How do you spell her name?
Fannie Willis. FANNIWILLIS. My understanding was him. It was the special counsel that hired her. So he's the one. The special counsel is the one that hired all the criminal investigators for all the different states, right?
I don't think so. No.
That's why all of them were dropped all at the same time.
No. Yeah, I don't think that's correct. No, I don't think so. No, because these are. It's a state. Like in the U.S., like the state government and federal government are different. They can cooperate sometimes, but she's not like appointed by the state. District attorneys are not like appointed by the federal government. They're elected in the state.
Okay, so Jack Smith only had 2 criminal cases
Yeah.
against Trump.
Yeah.
So okay. Then the Fulton County case is something else by itself. Okay, my bad.
Yeah, it's by the state government, not the federal government.
Okay, yeah, you're right. Okay. So the Smith investigation here is brought up. What was the final take of this? You said he's gonna write up a book.
He can't prosecute Trump anymore because Trump is president-elect. So yeah, he's gonna write he's required by law actually to write a special counsel report. It's probably gonna be like 400 pages per case at least. And he's going to give that report to the Attorney General, Merrick Garland, and Merrick Garland would choose whether or not to release that report. Merrick Garland said he was going to choose to release it. I imagine he probably will, although there's some doubt there. But yeah, that's the...
Wow, Smith went for without prejudice, so he can maybe bring it back up after Trump leaves office.
Yeah, it's unlikely, but yeah.
I mean, that's crazy. The indictment included dozens of felony counts, accusing him of illegally hoarding classified records from his presidency at his Mar-a-Lago estate and obstructing federal efforts to get them back.
Yep.
That was the second case.
Yeah, the documents case and the election interference.
FBI case, and then the FBI Mar-a-Lago case, and then which I proved to you was a complete hoax. That
it's not a complete hoax.
The whole picture was a hoax. The whole picture was a hoax.
No, just because they have the classified document marking things that they put over the documents doesn't make it a complete hoax. But okay.
The whole thing was a complete hoax. The idea that these are classified documents, those were implanted there by the FBI afterwards, then took a picture of it. That's not how they actually recovered the files. Sure. That's literally proven 100%. Anyways, so that case is already a failure because the president can actually declassify whatever he wants. And then this case, wait,
Minar, just real quick. Minar, real quick. Why did Donald Trump say? Wait, Minar. Why did Donald Trump say I could?
How are you not mad at Smith? Why didn't he bring up a better case?
But I think Jack Smith did a really, really good job. I think Jack Smith brought a good case. I think Merrick Garland was a little bit slow in appointing Jack Smith, which is a failure on his part. But also, Minar, why did Donald Trump say I could have declassified these, but I didn't, if he had already declassified them?
Because I bet you he was talking about something else. I bet you.
Yeah, okay.
And you're reading way too much into it. You only watch one interview out of 100 million interviews.
It wasn't an interview. It was a wire. They recorded it.
Yeah, exactly. I remember the case, and nobody knew what the hell he was talking about. It could have been.
That's not true at all. But okay.
He said.
Why did
He said in ambiguous terms.
Not ambiguous.
If I remember correctly, he said I could have. I had a lot of files, and I could have.
This is insane. This is insane, Minar. This is why I don't care, Minar. This is why I don't give a fuck.
This is hearsay.
Zero fucks, okay?
You fucking retard. You're literally basing your whole...
This is why...
No, shut up, man. Nonfon. You're literally basing your whole, judgment on somebody over hearsay. You're dumb. You're, dumb.
It's not hearsay. He said it himself. This is why I give zero fucks that Hunter Biden was pardoned, okay?
You don't know if he's talking about a single file. You don't know if he's talking about what file. He didn't say it was the Mar-a-Lago files. He didn't say anything. You don't know anything. He literally was talking to a random girl, and he didn't know he was being recorded. But because he's in Florida, he can be recorded. It's not illegal, and therefore he said something about some kind of file. And you're literally using hearsay to come up with a fucking judgment. You're such a fucking shitter.
Okay.
This is crazy, man.
This is why I don't give a single fuck at all about for why Hunter Biden was pardoned. Because despite all of the evidence we have of Donald Trump doing crime, these people don't care at all that Jack Smith can't prosecute him anymore. Because literally all he does is say, actually, maybe Donald Trump was just lying and didn't actually steal documents, and Donald Trump, blah, 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 blah. Donald Trump is actually perfectly justified to pardon all these people lying to Robert Mueller. You're totally unprincipled, and you're totally unprincipled despite not even having knowledge. You didn't even know who John Eastman was. Okay, I'm gonna turn him down for a second. He didn't even know who John Eastman was, yet he still now has a super strong opinion on the January 6th case, which doesn't make sense at all. Totally unprincipled, doesn't know anything. This is why I don't care that Hunter Biden was pardoned. Is it an act of corruption? Sure, but these people don't care about acts of corruption. Why the fuck would I ever apologize for Hunter Biden being pardoned when you want to apologize for January 6th, when you want to apologize for the documents case? You think both of those things were completely made up. You want to apologize for any of Trump's rhetoric about the 2020 election, all of the lies about that. You want to apologize or take accountability for anything. So why the fuck would I care if Biden pardons his son? Really, dude? Pardoning his son after Republicans investigated him for years? I don't give a fuck at all. Okay.
No, I'm unprincipled, but you're so worried about this criminal theory that's fucking a lot of bullshit. But you literally have no problem that Hunter Biden could be the biggest criminal on earth and Joe Biden just fucking pardoned him over everything. every other
Given
criminal
the fact that Republicans have been investigating Hunter Biden for like 4 years straight, and they haven't found very much, they can only get him on a gun charge. I'm not very concerned that he's the biggest criminal ever. I'm way more concerned that the person who we elected president did actually commit crimes, but okay.
Take you seriously, man. Who can take you seriously? You're supposed to be the serious guy, and you won't even care if the most broad...
Not in front of you. Not in front of you. Nope. Not in front of you when you take no accountability for anything. Not in front of you. No, I don't give a fuck at all.
You don't give a fuck about anything legal or anything unconstitutional or anything that could be criminal. You don't care about that. You already proved it.
Right.
You already proved about the Hunter case. You don't have an actual bad opinion about this. You keep saying it's corrupt, but I'm going to keep supporting the Democratic Party, and I support Joe Biden, everything he said. No,
I support everything Joe Biden says. Yes, that's my position.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm supposed to be the unprincipled one when you literally have no care about any kind of criminal charges that could be brought up, that could be actual, effective of a foreign government, some kind of foreign diplomacy. This is insane, man. This is absolutely insane. Maybe he murdered somebody. Now federally we can't even sue him. And you're not worried about that. I'm supposed to worry about Jack Smith, though? Fuck that. Fuck you.
Yeah, in front of you, I don't care at all because you refuse to take any accountability for anything Trump has ever done. So I'm not going to sit here and apologize for Biden doing 1/100th of what Trump has done when you won't even admit that Trump did anything wrong.
You cannot be serious, bro. You cannot be a serious person.
I'm 100% serious.
Anyways, you already claimed that you don't care about criminal law. Anyways, you don't care about anything.
Did I say that? I don't think I claimed that ever.
Murder and he was pardoned. You don't care about nobody. You're gonna come here and tell me Jared Kushner's dad hired a prostitute.
I mean, I don't know the specifics of that case, but your position, the reason I brought that up is you said, don't you think it's weird? Don't you think it's bad that Hunter Biden or that Biden pardoned his son or his family? And I was like, well, Trump did the same thing. He pardoned his son-in-law's father. So like, clearly in principle, you don't care about that.
I want to know, where do you get your moral compass from?
This is totally tangential, but like.
Yeah, because honestly, why are we even talking about it? Now I remember, man, you don't even care about criminal law. Like, you don't care about criminal theory.
I don't care about criminal law when it comes to morality, but I care about criminal law when it comes to some other things.
Your president has a son that broke the law and he got pardoned. You don't give a fuck.
Not in front of you. Again, if Biden does 1/100th of what Trump did and you won't take accountability for anything Trump did, then no, I'm not going to sit here and apologize for that in front of you when you don't take accountability for anything.
I told you the Paul Manafort thing, it could be, at least that's something that I could at least come up with a theory that, hey, maybe Trump saw that Paul Manafort spent enough time. Maybe actually Trump in this specific case saw that this legal theory had holes. And he wanted to kind of, pardon him and open up maybe the charges for something else to come forward. That's better. But the idea that Trump is gonna walk in, give a complete pardon on Ivanka Trump or Barron Trump, and Barron Trump is a fucking known cockhead that's been selling drugs and buying prostitutes for the past 10 years, and potentially has been in dealings with energy companies and potentially has been affecting foreign affairs of other nations. You're gonna tell me I'm gonna be acting like I'm not understanding you. You're strawmanning me so fucking hard, it's crazy. You're insane. Nobody can deal with you seriously, bro. The idea that I'm gonna allow Trump to do that is insane. I'm not gonna be like you.
You do allow Trump to do it. You don't care. You don't take accountability for anything.
No. If Trump did that, I would be like, holy shit, Trump is the most corrupt human being in the world. We should never support Trump. I'm not like you. I don't have allegiance to the Democratic Party or the Republican Party. If you remember, right. I would have voted Democrat last year when Bernie was there. Now I'm gonna vote Republican because MAGA's there because it's fucking populist. But the idea, I'm like you, I have allegiance to a party, and no matter what the president does of that party, I'm going to follow orders. It's crazy. The Jack Smith, if you prove that they actually broke the law and broke those minor violations.
They wrote it down. They said one more relatively minor violation, Minar.
Because there was actual evidence of an investigation going on.
It doesn't matter. Even if there was election fraud, it would still be breaking the Electoral Count Act.
They're not like your brother.
That's why it's conspiracy. That's why they're charged with conspiracy to obstruct an official proceeding, not actually obstructing an official proceeding.
They're not like Biden, where he actually fucked whores and sniffed cocaine out of their ass cracks.
But I never voted for Hunter Biden. That'd be relevant if I was voting for Hunter Biden, but...
But you're acting like I'm supposed to be okay with this fucking pardon. I'm not gonna be okay with this. This is insane.
I'm not acting like I know you're not okay with it. What I'm saying is I'm not going to sit here and apologize for Biden doing 1/100th of what Trump did when he won't take accountability for anything Trump does.
Bro, I hate Trump's stances on Israel. I'll give you that.
Oh, there's that. Yeah, okay, don't worry, we got that. Great.
Trump does. I hated when Trump.
I meant more like the accountability for the crimes Trump committed. But
itemized deductions out of the W-2s. I hated that, but like that's so minor compared to fucking Biden starting World War III and funding Ukraine to bomb into Russia, and now 100,000 Ukrainians died. And then sending money and weapons to Israel.
Based,
now,
even more based. Hell yeah.
With 1.9 million displaced humans.
Wait,
like,
Minar. What
Biden is doing, Trump was doing.
Minar, what is UN General Assembly? What is UN General Assembly Resolution 181?
181 was the 1947 borders.
Okay, there we go. Thank you. You got it right. You got it right this time. I'm proud of you, Minar.
1947 lines, at least.
Yeah, the 47 partition plan. Yes, thanks.
Bro, I'm a gangster at the Israeli debate now.
All right. Well, last time we asked you that, you didn't remember.
You want to go to that one and that one? But anyways, man, hey, I learned a lot about this Jack Smith investigation, but honestly, I just feel like you're reading a little bit way too into it. I feel like the idea that
they committed criminal conspiracy.
Criminal conspiracy. You could argue if there was anything bad out of it.
It took like what, a year for you to get it right? Yeah, that's right.
Who?
That was Sample. He said it just took you a year to get the UN General Assembly Resolution 181 thing right.
Bro, no, Sample actually is going to argue that the Resolution 181 is not a real resolution and is not binding.
Well, it's not legally binding because UN General Assembly resolutions aren't legally binding. Do you still hold the position that it's legally binding?
Well, but that was the resolution that was quoted in the Independence.
Just because Israel quotes it in its Declaration of Independence does not make it legally binding.
Well, why would the independence of a country in their independence statement write up and quote Resolution 181 twice?
Because that was them showing that they accepted it and that they wanted to declare independence on these borders, but then
because
the
that was the
Palestinians didn't
only
accept
reference
it.
they had to prove that they had those borders. There's no other legal reference they had. Besides, like some U.S. armistice agreements, which is bullshit. Like, besides that, there was literally nothing else. Show me. Is there anything else between?
You don't need. You realize, like, the U.S. declared independence and the UN didn't even exist yet. Like, they didn't have to cite exactly what their borders were. This isn't the standard that we hold other countries to. I don't think a lot of countries cited exactly what their borders were when they declared independence, or even when the UN accepted them.
Why did Israel cite you in 1947 if they didn't care about those borderlines?
Because they cared about the borderlines. Those are the borders that they wanted. Or I shouldn't say that. Those were the borders they were willing to grit their teeth and accept, I should say. But
okay, yeah. And so they believed it to be the legal binding document to create those
that doesn't require it being legally binding. That just requires it existing and being a general.
I know it doesn't require it, but that's what they used. I know U.S. general agreements don't have to be legally binding, but they could be.
I think in principle they can be, but just because they're quoted,
for example, I'll give you an example. The special resolution quoted UN Resolution 181 multiple times. So the idea that special council resolution.
What quoted it? What quoted it?
Special council resolutions used to quote UN.
Special can't you mean a security? Just because the Security Council quotes it doesn't make it legally binding either.
Yeah, but the Security Council agreements are legally binding.
Not all of them are, but I also don't. You'd have to specify which one. But that doesn't make UN Resolution 181 itself legally binding.
Security Council agreements that
doesn't surprise me. I know a lot of them quote each other, but it doesn't actually make them legally binding. Like, I can quote whatever I want, doesn't make it legally.
The General Committee agreements are quoted by the Special Committee, and those are legally binding. So,
not all of them are, but that doesn't make them legally binding.
That those use each other.
Well, just because
Like
they
the legal
use each other
document.
doesn't make it legally
So,
binding.
What the argument here is that Union Resolution 181 is not a legal document.
Legal document doesn't mean legally binding.
Then why is it quoted in the U.S. And the Israeli independence?
Because they wanted to accept those borders. Like, what? I don't know what you mean.
I don't even understand that. So how are they? Why would they accept the borders of Resolution 181 if they don't believe this is the legally binding order? Like this is crazy.
Because there was a UN
you're
General
like,
Assembly resolution, and they felt like it gave them legitimacy, and they wanted to accept those borders. That was them committing to the peace plan.
And B is not C. Like I'm talking to a toddler.
Right.
Like okay, so he doesn't accept the. So UN Resolution 181 is not legally binding resolution, even though it's quoted in multiple Security Committee agreements.
So it doesn't. That doesn't follow that it makes it legally binding.
It's quoted in the independence of Israel's statement, and it's still
Right,
now.
that does not follow. It's a non sequitur. That doesn't make it legally binding.
But guys, UN resolution has no legal power and is not actually the legal reference that Israel used to create the borders of 1947. What the fuck am I talking? Who am I talking? I'm talking to the wall. I'd rather talk to the wall. Let me talk to the wall. What up, Wally?
Right.
You know, this blue doesn't fit you.
So I don't see if we we have premise 1, UN General Assembly Resolution 181 is cited in Israel's Declaration of Independence. Therefore, UN Resolution 181 is legally binding. That does not logically follow. The conclusion does not follow from the premise there. Like,
why if I turn on my camera, they can't see me? Damn. Oh, look, Hunter Biden and Joe. Big Daddy.
I mean, I have to do this, but it's not really. I don't know. It's not.
Oh, okay. Anyways, man, you're not a serious person, man. You don't care about criminality. Joe Biden could be the Hunter and the Biden family could be the most biggest criminals in the world. You're totally cool with them being
They are.
pardoned. The Jack Smith investigation is a hoax, and you're cool with that, actually.
Yep. I hope all my taxpayer money goes to Jack Smith just so he can burn it. Just so he can burn it.
Yeah, just burn the taxpayer money over a hoax and literally put the Trump in jail over some kind of conspiracy theory that doesn't
Criminal conspiracy.
line up. Yeah, criminal conspiracy that didn't even happen. Okay, whatever. It's like saying, hey, can you say that? Can you say they conspired to murder somebody, but they never murdered?
Yes. Criminal conspiracy to murder them. Yeah. There was.
But that's not what happened. The guy said no. What happened was two lawyers were talking. Hey, is this something you could do? No, you cannot do this. Okay, well, what about this? Can I do this? No, you cannot do that. Well, what about here? Let's try that here.
This isn't true.
No.
This isn't true at all. Despite Greg Jacobs kept telling Eastman this was illegal, but Eastman wanted to do it anyways. Eastman kept telling Pence to do it. It doesn't. Yeah.
Yeah, but every single time he was bringing new theory forward, new law.
That's not true. He cited the same theory like 4 times. Like, you can just like read the January 6th report and like learn all this stuff. Like, I haven't even read most of it yet, but like you can just like read the J6 report and like they go over this. They like quote the deposition of all the people they interviewed. They quote the emails that we all have. They quote the memos we all have. But you don't actually care about any of that.
I can't wait for you to cry about every single little small thing that Trump does. But you're so fucking cool with the biggest fucking calamities that Joe Biden commits. Joe Biden starts World War III by sending weapons so Ukraine can...
Has World War III started? Like,
based.
It is based. It is based.
Biden pardons Hunter Biden over criminality, over fucking potentially... starting the biggest calamity in the universe, World War III, starting from Ukraine.
Based.
And we have evidence that Hunter Biden is linked to Ukraine for many years. And
I hope Hunter Biden causes World War III in Ukraine.
Those years, so we can't actually even investigate Hunter anymore. You're totally cool with that, but somehow I'm supposed to get mad and really pissed off over fucking Trump and Jack Smith. Go fuck yourself! What a fucking unserious person you are! You're so unserious. Such a
I mean, I do think Biden letting Ukraine strike into Russia is base, because I think Ukraine should actually be allowed to win the fucking war that Russia started. But I mean, again, on the Hunter Biden thing, I'm not here to defend the Hunter Biden pardon necessarily. What I'm here to say is that I'm not going to sit here and apologize for Biden doing 1/100th of what Trump did.
Well, is it based that Russia retaliated with the intercontinental missile?
Nope, that's not based. That's cringe. I hate Russia. Boo, Russia.
So that's not based, huh? That Russia can actually nuke the shit out of us and nuke all of our allies. That's not
No,
based.
Russia. Thank you, Alex, for the sub. By the way, Russia attacking Ukraine is not based. Ukraine defending itself against Russia is based. Very easy calculus there.
Ukraine bombing into Russia, that's based, but God forbid the Russia puts a preliminary border and doesn't allow
preliminary border. Yes, God forbid Russia invade a sovereign democratic nation.
I can't even imagine Mexico getting that close with their fucking intercontinental missile. That's crazy.
Right.
You're unserious, because I'm supposed to be mad about everything Trump did, but you have nothing to ever say about Biden ever. And the least thing
I do. I have criticisms of Biden. We're talking about Ukraine right now. I don't think Biden did enough to help Ukraine. I think Biden waited way too long to let Ukraine strike into Russia. Biden has been like slow walking aid to Ukraine the entire time. It's fucking insane.
You're literally insane. Would you go fight in Ukraine right now if Biden drafts people?
I mean, he's not going to do that. But if I was drafted to fight in Ukraine, I probably would.
Well, if Russia starts fucking throwing intercontinental missiles at us,
we're not going to have boots on the ground. I was going to say we're not going to have boots on the ground. We're not going to have any major U.S. military involvement in Ukraine the same way we did like Afghanistan. But
we already have boots on the ground. You agree?
We might have like some special forces like covertly there, but we're not in the same way in Afghanistan and Iraq and these other.
We at least know that the would-be assassin of Trump was on the ground there, at least, and that's an American citizen.
That's an American citizen just going to Ukraine is not the same thing as the U.S. actually having boots on the ground there. But okay. And again, boots on the ground is like a spectrum. Like we kind of have boots on the ground in Israel because we have like U.S. servicemen operating a missile defense thing there. I wouldn't say like the U.S. operating a missile defense system in Ukraine is like necessarily is strictly, or I would say it's boots on the ground, but it's boots on the ground is a spectrum from that to like literal full involvement. Yeah. Like we are shipping all our military to over there to fight for Ukraine.
Normal, Will. If that's totally normal, why would he wait till the last 3 months of his presidency? It's so shady, such shady business. And Nonfon is totally cool for
I'm not cool with that. I think you should have done it earlier.
He wants to distract you with the Jack Smith investigation and this kind of conspiracy theory of, oh my God,
right.
Like the drunk lawyers talk to each other about, oh my God, can we actually... Is this breaking the law? Oh my God, Nonfon, you're such a conspiracy theorist, man. This is crazy.
The point of bringing up the Jack Smith thing was to show that you never hold Trump accountable for anything he does. So I'm not going to sit here and apologize for every little thing that Biden does.
Bro, if Trump sits here and pardons Jared Kushner, who turns out to be a murdering coke,
you don't care though, because he pardoned
prostitutes ass crack. I would not be fucking cool with Trump pardoning him. No.
Trump pardoned Jared Kushner's father. You don't care. Trump pardoned 5 different people who obstructed justice for the Mueller investigation and lied to Congress about the Russian interference stuff. You don't care about that. You don't care about the fact that he went on like Fox and Friends and asked his DOJ to investigate Hillary Clinton. You don't care about that. Like you don't care about any. I believe he also, there were other people he wanted the DOJ to go after too. What'd you say, sir?
Your own chat is roasting you, bro.
Yeah, Malibu is an insane like leftist person. You would hate Malibu,
your whole
but
chat is roasting you. Normal Will is talking about you coming back to normality. Adventure thinks you look like Steve Perry, which is funny.
I have no clue who Steve Perry is.
Probably some nerd though. Anyways, man, like, be honest, man. You don't care. I can't care about Jack Smith when you can't care about Joe Biden. I really can't. You have to tell me this is the biggest calamity I've ever seen in my life. Hunter Biden was actually going to go to jail. We were going to get so much.
Donald Trump is probably going to go to jail.
Now we can't even sue him. Now we can't even sue him to get any evidence.
I mean, you can civilly sue him probably, but like it's this is insane. The things Trump is accused of trying to overturn a fucking election, and Hunter Biden is just like he did crack and had prostitutes and like got money out of Burisma from Ukraine because his dad was vice president. Like, are you kidding me?
Oh man, this is insane. Can we get some non-fun likes? Like, come on, I see 15 people
True.
on YouTube. Can we get some
like, you don't care? Do you even know? Do you even know that like Trump was accused of getting wait, Menard? Do you know that Trump was accused of getting a $10 million payment from Egypt? And then when the DOJ was investigating it, he told Bill Barr to get rid of it, which Bill Barr agreed to. Do you know about that? Do you think that's corruption?
Well, Adventure thinks Russia lost the Ukrainian war. What a loser. Imagine thinking that. That's crazy. Go ahead,
can you answer my question? Do you know that Trump was accused of getting a $10 million payment from Egypt to his campaign? And the DOJ was investigating it, but when Trump was elected, he got rid of the investigation. Are you aware of that? Is any of that corruption? Like...
Show me. I want to read into it. I want to see if it's anything close to this Joe Biden fucking crazy thing, because Joe Biden is wow, it's insanity. That situation is insane. I can't believe I've never seen a general pardon like this. I've never seen anything like this before.
I quoted the thing that you before. Nixon's pardon was a general pardon. I understand it was only 5 years and not 10 years, so what a big difference. But literally, I don't think there's anywhere you wouldn't move the goalpost. If it was a 10-year pardon, you would just say this is different because it's his son, or like this is different because of the crimes committed.
Why would he not do a 5-year pardon? Why would he do a 10-year pardon? What the fuck, man?
Because Republicans have been investigating Hunter Biden nonstop for years, and House Republicans are insane and will try to indict Hunter Biden and anything they can get their hands on because Marjorie Taylor Greene farms Facebook likes off of it.
Listen, keep talking. I'm gonna run upstairs to get some water.
Right. Interesting. Why Egypt? I forget exactly. I don't know. I think it was I think the allegation is that there was a quid pro quo because Trump was relatively friendly to Egypt. I think he gave Egypt more military aid than Obama did or whatever. But Bill Barr, Trump, Egypt payment. The allegation is that like Egypt gave the Trump campaign $10 million. The DOJ was investigating it, and Trump told Bill Barr to get rid of it, and then he did. I forget what the exact allegation is for the quid pro quo, but.
Okay, so listen, this is the deal, Nonfon. I want you to give away your allegiance to the Democratic Party right now.
Give away. I mean, I'm not like super committed to the Democratic Party. I think the Democrats have like the better policies right now, so that's why I vote for them. But like, I don't really.
The gays?
There are plenty of the gays.
What policy are you talking about that's better than the fucking MAGA?
Basically everything. I think the
movement right now. Shouldn't you be supporting them?
I mean, there are populists in the Democratic Party as well, but
are you
I'm not. What? Sorry.
Tomfoolery thinks the populists are actually bad.
Stupid. I agree. Yes, correct.
Oh my God! What the fuck? I swear y'all are all getting paid from the same people. Listen, why?
Most of the populist policy is just stupid. Like, I don't know what to tell you. Like, I think
I've never seen anybody come up with this conclusion in my life. Like, I need to understand how you guys.
What's a populist policy? Like, a wealth tax is a populist policy. I think that's relatively stupid. Tariffs are a populist policy. I think that's pretty stupid. Like, a lot of the populist policy is just not particularly good. I think it comes from just like a misunderstanding of like.
Slutsky's saying that it's only conspiracy once they agree to do something, not when they discuss doing it.
They did agree to doing it. Or, well, the lawyers did. Pence didn't. Pence didn't go through with it. If Pence went through with it, that would actually be committing the crime. But also, you have no clue what the legal definition for criminal conspiracy is. Don't pretend like you know that. Shut the fuck up, bitch.
Of course not. I'm not a genius, but like come on, man. I'll give you a filet-o-fish sandwich with half the cheese on it.
Wow, nice one.
Not fun. Give say I condemn you, the Democratic Party. I condemn you.
I mean, I think the Democratic Party is pretty good right now for the most part. I think there's some crazies in it, but
Bro,
don't
how
know.
do you even know about? Okay. Let's get serious now. I really want to get away from this meta talk about bullshit like Jack Smith, and I want to get to the serious
Yeah, the
meat
meta
and
talk.
potatoes.
Yeah.
Yeah, because really, this is bullshit talk. Like, this is not gonna win you an election. Like, Jack Smith is not gonna give you a fucking election, bro. Let's talk about how it's gonna win you an election, okay?
Mm-hmm.
So you, as a Democrat, you want the gays to win, okay?
The
So
gays to win.
Let's
Yes.
write it down. Let's write it the big. Start a new notion.so and write gays TW and listen up here. I believe if you want to win the gays over again, what you want is you want a Democratic Party that's a
Malibu, I do think the
populist
Democrats do need to play into populism more.
That's somebody that's.
We've had this conversation before. I do think the Democrats should. I'm not interested in talking about this again. I don't care.
What?
I'm not. It's not interested in talking about. We're talking to you about what the Democratic strategy should be. We've already talked about this before.
You're
I don't
just
really.
interested in them keeping losing, right? And talking about Jack Smith's bullshit investigation. That's what you're interested in.
I was more interested in talking about the Hunter Biden stuff, and we kind of ran through that. I'm not really interested in saying like, well, I think the Democrats should play into more populist rhetoric, but don't actually do populist like.
So you don't care about Democrats winning elections. You actually don't.
I do care. I care about Democrats winning elections.
By the way, he's making you cry.
Your heart. I mean, Malibu is dumb too, and also you guys aren't listening. I agree. Democrats should play into more populist rhetoric. I just think a lot of actual populist policies are stupid.
No. You have to explain why you actually are anti-populism. This is insane. Because a lot of the populist policies are stupid. What do you want to go over? Like, I think a lot of populism is just anti-establishment for the sake of being anti-establishment. I think it's very reductive to like reduce a lot of problems down to like a few things, which populists try to do. Like the left does it with like class politics, saying like the rich are evil, and if we just tax the rich and regulate everything away, then we can get rid of all our problems. I think the right does it to, with fucking Jews, depending on how far to the right you go. Some right-leaning people just do it to the government, but like I'm hungry. Give me a McChicken. Anyways, listen. What is this anti-establishment and only a few issues that's what they're running on? What if that's the only if that wins elections? Why the fuck are you not running on that shit, man? And obviously that wins elections. I don't understand.
I mean, again, I literally already said I do think Democrats do need to play into more populist rhetoric.
Into populism and suck the good parts out of it, like everything the Democratic Party's ever done, and then fuck everything else and fuck everybody when the actual the what do they say, the pedal hits the metal, or the iron hits the stove or whatever. So basically what I'm trying to say is act populist and then don't actually enact any populist values.
I think you should play into populist rhetoric, but don't do like the actual dumb policies.
What rhetoric are you okay with playing into? Go ahead.
We've already been over this. Like, I think again, it's a matter of like framing things. So like framing the YIMBYism thing. Like you can frame the YIMBYism thing as like, we need to get rid of government restrictions to restrict how private landowners can build homes, and we need to allow everyone to build affordable housing, things like that.
I just went through this with tomfoolery, and this is crazy to me because you guys are supposed to be the political analyst of the 8th degree.
I don't think I claim to be that, but okay.
I don't see any political analysis happening. I don't see where's the analysis that why she lost. Where's the
What do you mean? Do you not think I've talked about that to people? I have talked about that with people. I don't know what you mean. Like,
with Sample?
I've talked about it with Sample. I've talked about it with Isaac. I've talked about it with a guy called the Princess.
Right now. Let's talk about it. Let's take 15
We've
minutes.
already talked about it. We can do like 10 minutes on it.
I've actually talked to tomfoolery about it. I've never talked to you about it.
Yeah, that's great. You did talk to me about it.
Well, wait, what did you give me the conclusion of the movement of the Democratic Party forward? How are we going again?
I said we need to play into more populist rhetoric. I do think we need some like bold policy objectives. It's just that I think they have to be the right ones and not the dumb ones, and a lot of the dumb ones are the populist stuff. But
so, who do you think is the next presidential?
She would have done better if she saw her. I really don't know. It could be John Ossoff. It could be, I don't know. It could be AOC. I kind of doubt it's AOC, but I think AOC could do decent.
It could be AOC. I believe you. But it's gonna take a while. I mean, you're gonna have to change all your rhetoric. Like, your rhetoric is disgusting. All your rhetoric right now is shameful, guilty-driven, like almost like social conditioning.
Oh, it could be Gavin Newsom too, but I don't think anyone from California would be good. So.
Yeah, you're right. You need somebody from Arizona, like not from California. All right. Anyways, man, listen. Jack Smith is like Schlatsky said. I mean, unless you've proven that these guys agreed to commit conspiracy with one another, you haven't proven any conspiracy. Jack Smith's investigation came up with nothing. He actually did ended up with prejudice, so it's possible that it will come up.
It
with
could come back, maybe.
Yeah, it could come back, but there's no evidence that he's actually gonna, get anything in fruition from this. And to be honest with you, it's time for you to bury the hatchet with Trump. I think you should move forward and forgive and forget, and be thankful that you live in America around Manar Zaidlani, the king of the world, and keep growing your YouTube channel. Worry about the Democrats. Yeah. I would worry about the Democrats.
Manar, I'm like 10 subscribers away from passing you. How do you feel about that?
Bro, I don't know what happened to me, bro. I really lost everything. After I lost my Twitch channel, I couldn't come back.
I guess. Damn. Well, that sucks.
Yeah, I couldn't come back. But we'll see. Maybe. But I've been debating a lot of big guys. Did you see my Speakeasy debate?
Not really. I clicked on it, and you guys were like talking about like random like philosophy stuff that like I'm not that like interested in. So
I debated with Speakeasy about polygamy. That was fucking fire.
Yeah, I'm not interested in that. So
that was awesome. And then, but yeah, man, I'm not strictly politics. Hell no, I'm everything. Hey, I'll just tell you this. Don't be too happy about that, because you never know what could happen, man. You never know when Manar might get his shot. Maybe I'll be debating Destiny tomorrow. You don't know. I'm in these...
Maybe, yeah.
I'm everywhere.
You should debate Destiny. Debate Destiny on Jack Smith. I want to see you squirm around debating him.
You teach me a lot now.
Yeah?
You did teach me a lot. I'm ready.
Oh, I bet. He does Twitter Spaces. You could do. I don't know if he still does them. Before the election, he did them. You should show up to one of his Twitter Spaces and see.
Why don't we do a debate? You should do a big debate here soon, somewhere, like a big panel.
A big debate? I've been doing relatively big debates. I was in Hippy Dippy not that long ago.
What was that last one about?
The tariff one, the one on Admiral Gibbs's channel. I don't know. I built I was on the tariff debate thing with Gibbs. I think I built the Wick bridge, so hopefully Wick will probably be doing something with me soon. That'll be interesting. I need to figure out a way to build the Prime K's bridge, or Prime Kai's. I don't remember how to pronounce his name.
What was the conclusion of that debate?
What was the conclusion of it? What do you mean?
Like, did you like tariffs good or bad?
Well, I still think they're bad. They still think they're good. Although Tuple, one of the guys I debated, is a fucking pussy and has me muted half the time and is running from me. He's running scared. He cannot defend his positions. Nonfon,
be honest with me. I'll debate you with anything. What do you want to debate about, man?
We already went over the Hunter Biden thing.
No. This is not enough. There's something that's like keeping you hungry. Like, what do you mean
keeping me hungry?
To prove you were wrong, that you're done, so you're gonna leave the Democratic Party forever, and you're gonna never gonna look at them the same again.
What? Sorry.
Like, if I prove to you Hillary Clinton murdered somebody, would you leave the Democratic Party? Like,
I would not support Hillary Clinton. I wouldn't necessarily not support the Democratic Party, because I don't want to
debate this bullshit, like this single Jack Smith offense here, or the Fannie Willis case there. I want to actually get to the meat and potato of this. Like, I want to get to an actual way to get you to like surrender, the best way to save the country is by actually being not having allegiance to a single party, by actually leaving this party.
I don't even know. I don't know what you mean by allegiance to a single party. Like, I just think
It's
the
clear
Democrats
as
are
day
generally
your
better
allegiance
right
to
now.
the Democratic Party. It's
Well,
clear as day.
insofar as I think the Democrats are preferable to Republicans, and yeah, I vote Democrat and I
and not
argue
because of
for a lot
policy,
of Democratic
not because
policies.
of policy, only because of ideology. And that's allegiance
I
to
don't.
a party.
It's mostly because of policy, but okay. What?
It's not really for policy.
Okay.
No, you don't actually
glad you
like the
think
Democrats
that.
because of their policy.
How do you mean? I like
I know
that they
you don't
support
care about the
abortion.
gays.
I like they support LGBTQ rights for the most part. I like their economic policy better in terms of like a minimum wage, in
But this
terms
is
of not
straw
having
man,
tariffs and
because
everything,
the-
in terms of
Yeah, but the Republicans are not taking away abortion. The Republicans do not actually remove the rights from LGBTQ. They allow them to exist in your country. This is a complete straw man. The idea that
I mean, there were
America's
a
not
lot of
the-
Republicans
most
who voted against the
lenient
marriage
country when it comes to
equality.
these laws is ridiculous. I'll prove it to you with the case of Katie Cox. How is there abortion ban in America? Look at Katie Cox. She didn't even have any medical necessity.
I don't think
Go ahead.
most Republicans are in support of protecting these things at a federal level, whereas I typically am.
I'm getting mad at you. I'm so mad at you because
Okay.
you have no actual argument because
Wait, how many Republicans voted against the American Marriage Equality Act?
America's the lenient country in the world when it comes to these laws. Man, I
That
want to
doesn't
see
change anything.
Bashar
That
al-Assad's
changes
picture
nothing.
again. Can I see Bashar al-Assad's picture again?
What picture? I don't know what you're talking about. What?
Man, he has a cute one. Anyways,
How many Republicans voted against the Marriage Equality Act? Do you know? It was like half the Republicans voted against it.
okay, because it's like it's a big social change for they're conservative. Conservatives are always against change.
Well, I mean, exactly. That's what I'm saying. It's like I'm generally like
Okay, but why
pro
is it better
like
for,
this.
for random politicians to make the laws and not allow this conservative and for example, more moral traditional
Well, we could have this argument or whatever, but you said I don't actually like vote on policy, and like now I'm laying out like this is a policy difference. And now you're just saying the policy's bad. You can say the policy's bad, but this is
Okay, now I understand. What was the policy difference that they voted what?
the Marriage Equality
half of them
Act.
voted- Oh, so that's why you're not a conservative because see, this is why
That's
I
not
told
the
you
only
you're all about
reason.
the gays. Literally, I told you that. I told you it's all because of the gays. But stop.
Well, it's not
acting
all
like
because
that.
a lot of it is like welfare expansion too. Like Republicans don't like a lot of welfare that I like.
Well, my understanding is Republicans are the ones that want to lower taxes. The Republicans are the ones that want to remove the government from and deregulate and open up more businesses and more basically fruition for the market, like flourishing.
I mean,
for
you're
the
not
market.
entirely wrong, except for the tariffs that Trump is proposing, which is an insane tax. But
Yeah, but the Democrats want to fucking sanction Russia and create an inflationary.
Yeah, that's not a- maybe
calamity
that's
on
not
the US
nearly-
economy, and that's totally cool. But God forbid we fucking
yeah, because Russia started Russia started a war in Ukraine, and Trump is
the war. The only way
Trump
to
is
deal with it
tariffing-
is by sanctioning our.
It's not the only way. It's not the only way. It's not the only way. That's not the only way. It's one of many things that we did. But also, it's just not nearly as bad as tariffing like literally everything coming into the country.
Do you
So like,
understand that you destroyed the German market, the economy? You destroyed the French economy. Do you understand that you destroyed Great Britain?
I don't think that was us. I think that was them. Their sanctions.
Those weren't the sanctions. Those weren't the higher prices of energy and oil.
Well,
and
that was the
gas.
sanctions that they did, right? That wasn't the sanctions
And
that the US
supply
did.
chain bottlenecks.
That was the sanctions that Germany did, which screwed Germany. And also Germany,
Yeah, and who actually implemented those sanctions and actually put them forward and forced them upon them?
Angela Merkel.
the
I don't know what you mean.
Yeah, fucking Merkel in the US, the EU with pressure from the US, Anthony Blinken's government. Anthony Blinken is
Right.
the arbitrator of this Ukrainian war. We all know this, and because of the
Anthony
Ukrainian
Bl-
war,
was Anthony Blinken
police
even-
destroyed and destroyed our economies. So this is
I think the U.S. economy is doing
if you really care
pretty
about
decent right
policy,
now,
you would
but
look at how democratic policy is detrimental to your U.S. economy and to the world's economy and to the world in general. I'm surprised that you don't link the democratic policies with the fucking destruction of economies and the worlds.
Right. I think the U.S. economy is doing pretty well right now. I don't know why I would link it to its destruction when it seems.
Gee, you're not a serious person, man. I got you all these viewers so you can lose them. Are you kidding me, man? Like, you gotta be populist, bro. You're so not populist, and like you're happy with the 1080 right now, bro. But be
The
careful.
1080.
Like,
What?
You're not. I like.
Oh.
Like I would be very careful because you are not attractive. You're not attractive, man. You're not attractive. You need to be attractive to your viewers, man. You need to
Right.
give them something that you need to prove to them that you might be fighting for them, man.
I mean, I think I am fighting for. Obviously, I think I am fighting for them. I just think I think we disagree on how to fight for them. Like, I want people's lives to be better. I want poor people to do well. I think the Democrats generally like have better policies on these things than Republicans
No,
do.
they don't. The Democrats have the policies of.
Well, I understand we
economy.
disagree. I understand we disagree on that. But to claim that I'm not voting on policy when I am like voting a lot on policy, it's just that we disagree on what the policy should be. It's different.
I don't know how to respond to that, man. I just don't understand why you're not a populist. You're a young guy. Unless
The populists say a lot. Populists like
with 3 businesses, you should be a populist.
they say a lot of dumb things, and I think their solutions are dumb. Like they'll say like 80% of Americans are
Bernie's
working
dumb?
paycheck to. Yeah, Bernie like the other day was saying like 80% of Americans are working paycheck to paycheck. That's not true. And then his solution is a wealth tax, which I think is a bad tax. So like, yeah, I'm not going to side with it. Like.
I think the stat is 60% of Americans cannot afford a $500 emergency fund or something like that.
No,
That's what he means.
you're quoting a Federal Reserve survey. I know more about this claim than you do. You're quoting a Federal Reserve survey. I think it's like 63% or it's 40 something percent of Americans can't afford a $400 emergency expense. They can't cover it with cash, but there were other options on that survey that don't even necessarily like show like financial hardship necessarily. Like some people just said that they'd have to put it on a credit card. Other people were in a bad situation and they said like they would have to like get a payday loan, which it does show they're in a bad situation. But even like for those people, I think Democrats have better policies than that because like they want to give like welfare to people and like Republicans don't tend to like that. So.
All right, what's the worst policy you think Trump is going to enact?
That I think he is actually going to enact. I don't know.
Yeah, something like Joe Biden fucking pardoning a complete general pardon for Hunter Biden. Give me something like that.
The worst policy that I think is actually going to enact probably the mass deportations if they actually go through with the mass deportations.
You know Hillary Clinton was for them, right?
For deportations or for mass deportating everyone already here?
Mass deportations of criminals, yes.
Oh, of criminals? Trump isn't in favor of deporting criminals, though. He's in favor of deporting anyone here, right, illegally. By criminals, I mean criminals on top of the other crimes they committed. Like,
I think he's going to open a path for citizenship and for these people and for them to pay taxes for the ones that are non-criminals. And I think he's going to kick out the criminals, which is exactly Hillary Clinton's stance on this, and basically every other Democrat stance. I mean, even Kamala was running on a stronger border and basically lowering immigration numbers.
Well, that's true, but she was never in favor of mass deportations, right?
She never said mass deportations, but she was in favor of deportations.
Yeah, but there's a big difference between these things. There's a big difference between like a president who's like okay with deporting, illegal immigrants that have been arrested, and a president that like wants to send ICE into different communities to find illegal immigrants and like round them up and like.
This is just a rhetoric.
It's not just a rhetoric. It's an actual policy difference. I don't know what you mean.
No, this is a rhetoric issue because they might have the same policy, and it seems like they have the same policy. Like, for example, when Hillary Clinton was talking about it, and when Bill Clinton was talking about it, remember when Bill Clinton was trying to be a surrogate for Kamala? He was talking about how these illegals are killing our Americans. We need to stop them from coming over the border.
I didn't follow what Bill Clinton said, but okay. Yeah, but none of them ever argued in favor of mass deportations.
Showed that they had the same stance as MAGA on the border.
No, they tightened up their rhetoric on the border because that was a losing issue for Democrats, but they never argued in favor of mass deportations. That's just not true.
Bro, mass deportation of criminals, it wasn't?
mass deportations doesn't mean. When you say mass deportations of criminals, what does that mean?
Basically, my understanding was Kamala was actually running on, I will strengthen the border, I will deport the criminals and that come here illegally, and I will make sure that they don't come. And
so you understand there's a difference.
Let me finish. They went so far that Joe Biden signed in June 2024 Proclamation 10773. Do you know about it? That strengthened the border.
Yeah, I know the illegal executive order. I'm aware. Yeah.
Yeah, and so they waited all this time till now, and that's because they actually wanted to show they're effective.
Well, that's because Biden doesn't have the legal authority to do that, and the executive order is going to get overturned. But
I know. You're gonna make
but you understand it's the difference between the policy difference is between deporting people who come up to the border. They come to the border, right? And you turn them around. So it's quote unquote deporting them, even if they are in the U.S. for like a little bit or whatever, versus like sending ICE into a bunch of different communities, like Trump did during his first term, and like trying to find illegal immigrants and deport them all and get rid of like temporary protective status for like the Haitian immigrants that he doesn't like and trying to deport them all. Like these are very clearly like a different a difference in policy.
Bro, I'm getting mad at your YouTube because I've asked them 4 times to like your videos, and there's like at least 100 people that went through and not a single extra like. I'm getting mad.
So true. Why wouldn't they like?
Yeah, y'all better like the video. I'm done giving you content for free. This is crazy, guys. This is crazy. All right, now, Fawn, man. Listen, man. The Democratic Party is gonna end up with taking you to hell. They're gonna make you share your wife, and I'm so like worried about you.
Okay. Good to know.
Don't believe them when they tell you they want to have a taste.
Right.
And that it's okay. Nonfon, you can do better, man. God damn it, man. I hate you so much.
I
hate you so much. God bless you.
Guys, see the new Destiny and Nick Fuentes. I did see that, chat.
Was that true?
I don't know if I don't think it's probably not Nick Fuentes, but I mean, there's a video of him sucking a dick.
Was he really sucking a dick? Are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah.
That's crazy. I'm so happy I didn't see that video.
Oh, I bet.
That's crazy. Nonfon, please don't do it. Nonfon, please.
Do what? Suck a dick? I'm not interested in sucking dicks, so.
Huh?
I'm not do what? Suck a dick?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not interested in sucking dicks, so don't worry.
Please don't do it. Please don't do it. Stay Democrat, but don't do it, please.
Okay, great.
All right, Nonfon, do you need anything from me? Anything last words?
Nope.
So you can see it, huh? I won again, another victory.
Not at all, but I'm sure we'll continue to talk in the future. Where you'll bring up that you defeated me here, so.
Man, listen, man. I just don't understand how you act like you are like so worried about law and order, but all of this shady business is going right by you, and you're totally cool with it as long as it's the Democratic fucking Party doing it.
As long as their last name is Biden, I'm fine with it. Yeah, that's my position.
I mean, honestly, because I never heard you getting like doing that much research and looking into as much Hunter Biden business as much as I've seen you do like Jared Kushner and freaking Trump and the Paul Manafort issue. Like, that's crazy to me. You did so much more research on the Jack Smith issue than anything Joe Biden ever did in his life.
I haven't even done that much reading on the Jack Smith thing, but okay. Also, I've done research on some of Biden's things, but.
A couple of times now.
Well, yeah, because it comes up in panels and stuff, so.
Yeah, on panels, yeah. Anyways, man, I just don't understand, man. Like, I really don't get it. Like, I'm trying to understand here. Like, if they're paying you money, I'll do. Like, how much money are they paying you? Maybe I want to do it too.
I wish, bro. I wish. One day we'll get there.
I want to do it too. Tell them to hit me up. I'm hungry. All right, hey, Nonfon, it's always a blast talking to you, man. Sorry, I kind of got a little bit spurred out. It was because I was losing.
Listen,
I didn't know anything about the Jack Smith issue, but
we all enjoy spurging out sometimes, okay? I spurred out too. It's fun.
Yeah, but you have to agree. Jack Smith, I mean, there's no conspiracy there. I mean, the true conspiracy is like That if you're acting like they were actually breaking the law, there was no breaking the law. The moment they realized they're gonna break the law, they stopped. Yeah, there
not
was
true.
some speaking about it. But
Well, I mean, the moment Pence realized it was going to break the law, he didn't go through with it. Yeah, but everyone else wanted to break the law there.
His lawyer was telling him the legal theory about it, and it was going to be bad. Yeah, so he agreed with the lawyer. Yeah, it's not that Pence is a genius.
Pence or Trump?
No, well, Pence's lawyer is the one that told Pence to not do it, right? Because Pence's lawyer is the one that really
Pence probably also understood himself why he didn't have the legal authority to do it, but
then Trump, you have to understand, Trump is not a politician. Trump is the only one that's not a lawyer there, and so he could request and make a request, and then because John Eastman has some kind of allegiance to Trump, he could actually try to get favors or try to get an extension here or there. But that's not breaking the law. That's not into the level of you trying to push it that there's a criminal offense here.
Right.
He broke the ECA. I don't even think he goes to jail for that. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's not even that big a deal.
Well, he's not going to jail now. He's president-elect. Case dismissed, okay? So.
All right. Well, anyways, good luck to Jack Smith. I hope you guys see each other very soon, and hope you guys get to hang out. And and Nonfon, man, I'll see you around, all right?
See ya, yeah.
Say hi to Sample for me.
Oh, for sure, yep. When will we get Nonfon Jack Smith interview? That'd be awesome. What's the name of the guy who wrote the Jan 6 report and Destiny interviewed him? Whatever that guy. When is he gonna come on Nonfon stream? When's it gonna happen? Ugh. Elbow nose is sample text? What? John Eastman could still go to jail? Probably. The case was dismissed, right? So even it's possible, but unlikely because it was dismissed. What's the term? It was dismissed without whatever. So they can still, in theory, bring the case back later. But it doesn't. I don't think it's I don't think that's particularly likely. And yeah, I guess I mean, again, here's the reason why I think the Hunter Biden pardon is somewhat bad is because it's divisive for the benefit of like one person. Like aid to Ukraine is divisive, but like that's a like overwhelming good thing in my opinion. Versus like the Hunter Biden pardon, like it helps Hunter Biden, and like it's divisive for no reason. Half the country's upset about it, and the other half of the country is gonna have to argue with people who are upset about it. But again, I don't give a fuck when Trump abuses his power of the pardon way more, and they don't take any accountability for that. And Jack Smith can't prosecute Trump for everything Donald Trump did about January 6th. And they don't take any accountability for that. So that's why I don't care. I'm not losing sleep over it. Yeah. The only issue is he said he wouldn't do it, and then he did. Yeah, I mean, it makes sense to... oh, fuck, I just spilled. I'm a dumbass. I don't think he would have done it if he was still running. He at least probably would have waited until the end of his second term. But I don't know. I guess he obviously lied about that. So not ideal. But also, no one takes accountability for any of Trump's lies about much more important thing, the 2020 election. He still lies to this day about the 2020 election. Like, which lie is more severe? Like the lie about like you're not going to pardon your son, or like the lie that the election was stolen from you? Like one lie like tears at the very like fabric of like democratic society, where like no one believes the results of any elections anymore. One lie is like has had such more severe consequences than the other. So it's like, if you're not going to take any accountability for Trump doing that, then like I'm not going to sit here and apologize for Biden doing 1/100th of that. Like, are you kidding me? I guess because Trump is bad, that neutralizes it. True. Ugh. I forget. We'll read more of these just security things. I know Trump tried to. I'm pretty sure Trump literally went on Fox and Friends and said that he wanted them to investigate Hillary Clinton, and also privately told people to investigate Hillary Clinton. But I'm not aware of the specifics of it. And there were other people as well who he tried to get prosecuted. but I don't remember. Or I was going to say I don't remember. I haven't even read into it that much before. Hillary Clinton should have went to jail. Why? She was investigated. They couldn't find any evidence of willful retention. I don't know what you mean. President seeks to obsession, reverses recusal. President Trump publicly scolds Justice Department for not investigating Clinton. What's up?
Yeah, what was is my game still insane?
It's not insane.
Usually it's like insane. I cannot hear myself. It's like super muffled.
I don't think it's insane, but
Okay. No, I mean, what was the debate about? Just Hunter Biden?
yeah, Hunter Biden, yeah.
God bless Hunter. Okay. I would vote for a Biden Smith ticket. Okay, in 28. Okay.
Hell yeah,
I would
let's
vote the shit out of
go.
that. Isn't that like totally based? Like, yeah, I don't know.
That is based. No, we can have Biden Harris again, okay? We can have Hunter Biden, Kamala Harris. It'd be so based.
Yeah. Bro, the memes are so funny. The
know,
equals meme. Like, such a funny meme. Oh my god. It's okay, Hunter. I had a sham Trump too. Fuck. It's so funny because it's like I know the original Trump meme. It's so funny. Yeah. Yeah, well, I don't know. I'm actually surprised Biden did it. I thought Biden would never. I
Yeah, I didn't think Biden
was
would
too
do it
much of,
either,
like
but-
a spineless fuck to do it, but he did it. What
Yeah.
a brave guy. Yeah.
Listen, he's growing a little bit of his spine, okay? He's letting Ukraine, he's starting World War III, okay? With the Ukraine stuff. He's
Yeah, that's
pardoning
right.
Hunter Biden.
The analogy is
He's
like
being
the
based.
analogy is like, oh, if everyone brings a knife to a fist fight, then there's no virtue in like bringing a fist, right? But it's like if they're bringing a tank and we're just bringing a knife, you know, it's like it's still not symmetrical. It's still not like okay to talk about how bad Biden is for this. It's still not okay because they tried to fucking insurrect the government and half the people don't even know the basics. I mean, you just saw Minar not knowing the recording about like, oh, I could have declassified it. Like that's dead to rights.
Yeah, but they'll never. He'll almost certainly never get prosecuted, but they don't care about that. So
yeah, it's also they don't care, right? Like yeah. Also, it's so funny. It's like you don't care about the law or crimes when Democrats commit. Well, for one, the president needs like it would not be a pardon if you could only pardon innocent people. Like what? Use of a pardon otherwise, right? And second of all, it depends on what the crime is, right? If it's like lying on a fucking form and then like whatever the fuck and then and he's like it's actually unusual punishment. It should be like I don't know how this was not defended through like cruel and unusual punishment because
maybe,
it's not the fuck. But even then second thing it's like who it like affected nobody, it broke no moral code or whatever, he just like did drugs and then like filed a gun thing. It's like who what like what nothing bad happened because of it. But like I mean, ideally, in a perfect world where Republicans are well behaved, I would not be happy about this. But we're not in that world at all. We're not in that world at all.
if you want to chat with me live, sub here or go to Nonfon420 on Twitch or Kick via the links below. Once again, please like and sub to help with the algorithm, and consider sending a donation through YouTube Super Thanks to directly support me, and I'll make sure to reply to any question you ask. See you guys next time.